right. And like that, we are back with another Unpacked, presented to you by the To Be Fair Show and
the G Shit Podcast.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
All right. We took maybe a 2-week hiatus. We're back with a good one, another one. Again, we're not hopping back on the political train quite yet, or the diaspora train quite yet. But this conversation still might lead us down that road. But today we're going to talk about, does Black content creation have a problem? I feel like this conversation kind of go inside a multitude of different ways. But before we get there, I'd love to introduce our amazing panel. Again, I am your moderator, Q. We have G. Talk to him.
What's good, everybody? G, host of the G Shit Podcast. Check that out wherever you get your podcasts at GSHPOD. We focus on family, friends, finances, freedom, and our future, and fuck everything else. Hi.
Charlotte Legend, talk to him.
Yo, what's up, fella? I was about to say Happy New Year for some reason. I feel like I ain't seen y'all in a minute. But yeah, happy to be here, man. Happy Wednesday. And see all the info on the screen.
Yep. FBA's own Mr. David Walker. Talk to him, Trey.
What's good? Looking forward to another opportunity to intellectually spar with the homies. Everybody's got a different perspective, and I appreciate that. So hit us up in the chat, and we'll hear you out and hit the like button.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, Johnny, talk to him.
What up? It's your boy Johnny P, host of the To Be Fair Show. You catch us, me, Rail, Q, every Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Great time with the fam. Missed y'all boys, but I'm glad to be back and looking forward to another fruitful conversation.
Got you. Speaking of content creation, I think I was swiping on my Instagram, and I seen Johnny taking light skin pictures on Instagram. I don't know. My bad.
Shit, it did numbers.
Talking about wilding content creators.
Drake shots.
It was. You gotta do a haircut selfie is appropriate. You could get one.
Oh, not a selfie.
Let them know that's off code, man. Nonetheless, go ahead. You said what?
I would say good call out, bro. I didn't know the homie was taking selfies, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah. Squinty eyed selfies at that.
Nah, that's was it, bro.
Did you do the duck lips too?
Man, post one selfie, man. I thought I looked good on Tuesday.
All right, so before we get there, I feel that what's fitting coming off of Thanksgiving break, there has been one clear icebreaker for us to get to, where they not like us. Maybe they bot like us. Whatever they trying to say. It has been the Kendrick drop, GNX. There has been the multiple Drake lawsuits, one for bot allegations, the other for defamation. There has been the Kendrick announcement of I'm coming to Toronto. I don't know, fellas. What's been y'all overall take? This is almost like rebooting up the battle a little bit, but almost inside like a different lens. Thoughts?
Who want to start? Yo, the whole like lawsuit thing, first off, to me is just like crazy whack, but affirming that, he's not hip hop, which is cool. Like Drake can be pop, he can make songs, but like suing somebody because of a rap beef, it ain't hip hop. And then the whole thing with the streaming and the bots and stuff, it's like this whole side that can't fathom that people really like Kendrick Lamar. Like, it's no way this dude can be doing none of this. They call it the Drake effect, which I say like, well, why no other artist is breaking records that beef with Drake? Like, why is it only Kendrick? So did they buy bots and stuff? I don't know. I don't care. But we know in the culture we would know like the hype. It was overhyped, but the hype was real. Like it was just real. So I feel like it's a last ditch effort for him going after them for possibly boosting Kendrick when they've been doing that for Drake for years. Because now all his record breaking streams are in question to me. Because I feel like people have been saying they had streaming farms and bot farms, and Kanye was saying this thing years ago about Drake and about Lucian. So, like, all this information been out there. The people still capping for Drake. For me, it's just like, bro, like this your king. Like I could see it with the battle stuff, but this like, and it's not even like on no Michael Jackson shit. Because if you want to compare that, it's like, oh, well, Michael Jackson sued Sony and all. Nah, like it was different vibes. Like Mike was owning his shit and buying everybody else shit, and damn near about to buy Sony too. And so it's different vibes. So don't compare Drake to Mike because Drake is not doing this for justice for artists. Like it's this whole narrative his fans trying to spin like, oh, he's trying to help the artists out and all. Man, Drake don't care nothing about helping the artists out. Like this nigga's hurt and being Jewish like he's always been,
and I'll say this. I heard something today that I thought it was interesting. The Churchill Down, that song where he was talking about after he won the Pusha T beef. He lost that beef, and he was talking about getting revenge on Pusha T, talking about if we see you in the street, I'ma spit in their faces. Like he was talking real tough,
crazy.
like he was talking real tough after having lost a battle. Say, I gotta get him back for that, talking revenge, and then to lose this battle, and you in the courthouse. That's not hip hop, Drizzy. And it make you look at all this other stuff differently too. You talking about spitting in somebody's face, and now this dude my height, and you taking him to court. Talking about bodying niggas and stuff, and now you taking him to court.
Anybody got the right to sue would be Kanye, because like labels and streaming platforms are actually against him. Like when Carnival and what's that album him and Vulture shit dropped, like. You had to search for that. It wasn't like on none of the top pages or home pages or nothing. When Drake drops that shit, it's on the top of everything. Like they force it down our throat. It's on radio and all this stuff. So to be suing for what's been benefiting you, it's weird. I don't really know what he expected to come from it. That's why it's just strange. Like that, he's lost in the hip hop battle world. He lost. Like he go have money. He can make some pop songs, but hip hop he's done. Like.
He's losing culturally now. Yeah, right? He's bigger than music. This is just something that's like not respected. Like even if you don't even know his music like that, or even if you do like his music, and you was really whatever, I'm still gonna rock with him.
On the heels of a Young Thug getting out of jail and holding shit down, and living the life he rap about, you out here following.
That's Drake's boy. That's Drake's boy. They gonna give you back in the lab.
Thug said he was gonna fix the beef. He said he was gonna bring it back. That's what he said.
And Gunna running around with this shit, man. Thug is done too. Gunna took his shit. Gunna's not playing. That nigga's in the jail like a machine. Like Gunna's not playing, yo.
Shit fire, man. Hey, but and John, y'all hit on all of it, man. Like Ye was talking about the rich baby daddy, which was the person putting the button so he can have the bots. So now he's accusing the people of doing the same thing he benefited from. Like he's crashing all the way out and then going down a dangerous path. Exactly. He's going down a dangerous path because they're really tripping trying to say that he's anything like the Sam Cooks and the Michael Jacksons and the Princes that sued those same industry. Like Drake has never said anything to stand up for the black community. That he just like Drake is like Aubrey's, like his pseudonym that he's able to cloak himself.
Makes him do this.
Right. Like he just like throws on the Drake identity as a cloak for Aubrey to come amongst us as a Trojan horse, like a lot of these other people that I talk about. If it's like the Ghost Riders, they're getting peed on, getting slapped by Diddy, telling his mom Rick Ross is racist, painting his nails, living in a rich Jewish community, benefiting from his ethnic connections, disrespecting Michael Jackson, bro. It's like the list of L's go on and on. I don't know what he has to do to show us that he's not like us, man. So this is just another ethnic beef between Drake and his own community, and I think I'm just gonna get my popcorn and then hope he goes down the same path as those other people that tried the same community. Because I've been hating Drake John since like 2010, bro. So I've been waiting for this, bro.
My thing with Drake is like I'm definitely a fan of some of Drake's songs. I got plenty of Drake songs in the playlist that will come on if they just play a random mix. So I'm not trying to say that he's always made trash music, but I remember back in the day when his mixtape was out, and I think the Come Up had just came out. This is like college years, and it was like this anticipation of what's Drake's first album gonna sound like, what's Cole's first album gonna sound like. And when he dropped his first album, that's when I knew right then and there he's not really in it for the hip hop. Like it was just so, and he even told you like, do it for your girlfriends, like Kelsey Grammer. Like he said it like from the start, this is my mission, and this is who I'm tailoring my music to. So I'm honestly like not surprised that he's going to this length, but with Kendrick stopping in Toronto, he's gonna have to stand on business. That's the only way that he can make this right for the culture. I'm not saying he gotta crash out.
No.
And when you
for like the Canadian culture,
what I'm saying is for his own reputation, for he can't talk the way he been talking and allow Kendrick to go to whatever stadium in Toronto and have all these Canadians rocking to the whole playlist that put him out in a body bag.
Passport ban. He already done.
I'm telling you,
he talked to the Drake can get. He got pulled at the border.
He better flex.
Already getting people in.
Flex that muscle. Pause. He better because that's really the only thing he could do is just show I'm really super powerful and I can fuck shit up like on a different level. And if by chance his mom's side of the family somehow helps him maneuver through this in a way where he gets a victory and then he shut down, say what's going on in Toronto, GNX don't even touch down, like Kendrick can't get his visa or something, I think it makes for an interesting 2025.
Man, what do y'all think about his connection to the Hells Angels, which is basically a white supremacist biker gang? Like, because I saw pictures of him wearing a Hells Angels jersey, and he got the Hells Angels to jump on Rick Ross, which I think Rick Ross is a clown, but anytime I see an FBA getting jumped on by some Hells Angels, like, that's nothing to celebrate. So
I don't know about the connection. Yeah, I've never heard it.
I've heard about it in this beef that was a thing, and the Hells Angels was in some of the videos. I think. Yeah. I think I seen some people talking about it online, but me too. I think even they say his neighbor might be like the head of that, but I'm just speculating. I'm about
to send y'all a picture of him wearing a Hells Angel like basketball jersey, not like the team, just how they got them in the
video. Gotcha.
To be fair, most black people don't like. Didn't know the Hells Angels were specifically like white supremacists.
I didn't know that to be that either.
Oh, they're a bunch of. They're white boys, right? Like some outlaw white boys. You think they're like friendly to black people?
I mean, but I think I thought it was a difference between them and the KKK. Like, I thought they like bikes.
Yeah, I thought they just outlaws don't give a fuck about nobody. Truthfully,
yeah. Like, why aren't there any black? Why aren't there any black Hells Angels in?
Is that true?
I didn't know it.
Are you sure?
I just didn't know it, and a lot of people probably didn't.
Let me look it up.
A lot of people would probably put on that jersey in ignorance.
I know it's black biker gangs for sure, but I'm sure it's some black Hells Angels. I don't know though. I could be wrong.
It's like the Sons of Anarchy. They used to have a TV show that
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Like
that shit was fire.
Yeah, that's who Hells Angels based off of, and they didn't let black people in their group.
But they don't let Chinese people.
They got black bikers. They had black biker gangs that they was like had relationships with, but
right.
Got your own charter rules.
Yeah, it's just like a group, but like I don't think they specifically are out there for like to hurt black people. I think they just got their own biker shit, and it's only white boys because that's how biker gangs are. They're all race based. The Asian bikers don't have white boys or black boys in their gangs. The Hispanics don't have white or black boys in their gangs. It's just I don't think that's necessarily white supremacist.
So would you wear a Hell's Angels shirt? If it's nothing racist about it, then why don't you just wear a Hell's Angels shirt? Like I think that shit isn't
Niggas
cool.
was wearing Hell's Angel when they was wearing that damn Ed Hardy and didn't even know.
Yeah, like I'm saying, there was a time where somebody probably put that on in ignorance. Like
I didn't
when
know
Niggas
Ed
was on
Hardy
that
was-
Ed Hardy heavy.
Niggas
at
ain't
one
know
point.
what the hell that shit was.
Niggas was
I
looking
had
crazy
Ed
at Ed
Hardy.
Hardy.
Black Label drop. It was skulls and everything. On
Yeah,
shit. I
exactly.
said.
All type of Hell's Angel shit.
And so if
I
you
don't see
if you don't
anything.
know, you don't know.
I guess
I
the
don't
one
think-
thing that we haven't
I
hit
don't
on
think
yet
it's-
so
it's the
far
thing. I
would
think
be
I made that up.
the defamation part to the lawsuit, where
That's getting thrown out.
yeah, I imagine, and to me like that was the most interesting thing, where it always seemed like if anybody was going to file a defamation suit, it probably would be Kendrick's girl or wife, where she was told that she done cheated with the bodyguard, she done got beat on, she done cheated with the manager and got kids outside of the wet. Like she's not involved in the battle, and most of the shots that was thrown at her. So I just thought that part was interesting, to defame so much of her character, but then call for defamation.
And not only his wife, the dude, he done mentioned Serena Williams. He done mentioned like many
Mad
people's
people.
names in his raps that could have the same argument about him. Like, so that's why I was like, what are you doing? Like defamation? Like the streams is one thing on the business side, but the defamation is just like, are you hurt, nigga? Like,
But you know why? Because I do think like when we talking about business and money, he is in a different stratosphere than other niggas in the industry. Like it ain't but a couple artists in his stratosphere. I do think he took a significant hit to his marketability with some of these deals and corporations. So I think he lost. I think he can claim damages. Like I said, if his mom's side of the family worked this out in a way where he can prove that he lost money and this is the reason why I lost the money, now give me my money. Like I'm just from another perspective, I'm just interested to see if that can really work. I think it's definitely pussy. It's not hip hop.
I don't think it could work off of just the facts and video evidence that exist online.
Right.
It's true.
Well, like he had
a woman beater.
Right, true, and with no evidence, but you could see him on stage groping a 16 or 17-year-old after she told him how old she was. I don't know what to call that outside of the term that's what PDF file, behavior or adjacent. Like if you're texting a 13, 14-year-old about girls, I mean not girls, a 13, 14-year-old about boys, that's a girl. I don't know what to call that besides for PDF file adjacent behavior at the least. As a grown man in your 20s, in your 20s, 25, why would you be texting a 13, 14-year-old?
I mean, but
if my 13, 14-year-old daughter was texting any version of an adult man, we got problems.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like we got problems. I'm coming to find you. Like it's so, but to me, being that you have this list of suspect or at least closely related behavior, again, it just seems like a harder reach to kind of win that.
Do you think there's any connection between like Michael Jackson tried to sue and he got those same type of allegations? Now Drake's suing them and now he's kind of getting similar allegations. And if he does sue, I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to dig up more people to make allegations as well. So he might be opening up a can of worms.
But
he got the allegations before he sued, though.
Yeah, but I was about to say that's the only difference is that they threw that on MJ once he got control of a bunch of things. But this was pre-sue. Like this was just stuff that was out on the internet probably for at least the past like 4 or 5 years. I done seen it'll come up and then it'll disappear really quickly. It'll come up.
Joe Budden did a whole thing on that album.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, he did like before all this beef even started. Joe Budden was like, "Why is he so interested in whatever little girls or whatever?" Like he's doing his Joe Budden shit. So it was already in the atmosphere. But Kendrick took the knife and twisted it 15 more times.
Do you think do you think it's a little weird for a man like that age, his target audience to be like, middle school, high school, young girls like that? Not his target audience, but
Man, the thing is, that's the thing. The music business is so soulless. It's just about capitalism, and the reality is the main consumers of music throughout time is going to be the younger demographic. Like the older you get, the less music you consume. So if you create music and you want to be consumed by the masses, it's got to reach the masses. You know what I'm saying? So it's like from a music business standpoint, I mean, to keep the same type of trajectory that he has in the audiences, and that's too, as I'm saying, he got so many different audiences. Like,
but I guess like the teeny bopper thing still is a little weird. Like when you look at the other, I don't know, maybe you go like 5 biggest artists. Like let's just say Travis Scott, let's say Kanye West, we'll say J. Cole, we'll say Kendrick. Who else is a big seller that you'll put in there? I can't really point to their music being specifically as panderish to like a younger crowd as his would be.
Especially if you weigh in like Euphoria too, which is very sexual and depicts, high schoolers.
So hold up, but so y'all think Drake's music is catered to a younger crowd or just a female crowd?
Well, I think that there's a space where it's
younger female.
There's definitely youngness because like even his association with Lil Yachty and a lot of things he does now. His imagery of even what he puts out, but I think sonically, a lot of his hits, his references, is still kind of like fairly young based.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, but that's what's relevant in pop culture, if you will, like the social media world. Like I say, he's a capitalist making music, and so that's why
I get it. I guess my only thing is that I don't see that from the other top 5 selling artists. And it's not like it's not like a big jump between him.
Barrettes in his hair, man.
With him, I don't excuse his behavior, but like when you go to a Travis concert, it's a mad teenagers and kids in that audience.
No, his audience is fairly young. I'm not saying that. It doesn't seem to be as intentional of a reach down there.
Travis did a whole stream on Fortnite virtually.
That's a fair point.
I mean, you got grown men showing up on CassiusTrey stream, sleeping overnight and shit. Like,
right, but that's also like that. We're gonna get to it, but CassiusTrey isn't like a kid either, though.
But he caters his content to a younger audience. Like you go into CassiusTrey to get to the kids.
Why does he have all that twerking? Why does he have all that twerking for the kids then, bro? Like that's
but that's what I'm saying. Like CassiusTrey,
he didn't want that.
But we're gonna get this. I don't necessarily want to go there. But
apologize, but yeah, we'll
yeah, but we're gonna kind of we'll walk that way. But
I just want to say,
I'm not
just saying he's doing it because he's a capitalist, and that's where the biggest market is to try and make something with the streaming era. Like these are the folks doing the most streaming. You want to make music that's gonna fit in their quote unquote algorithms or playlists. And because of how his powers that be, like I'm pretty sure his daddy told him this the type of music you need to make to keep the dollars flowing. Hence, that's why he makes the type of music he's been making. That would be my guess.
No, I get it. All I'm saying, like Kendrick to Travis to J. Cole to Travis Scott to Ye, they don't have like an intentional TikTok hit. I'll give that as like another example.
Yeah, like I agree with that.
He does like a lot of things that sonically and musically, because I agree, Travis does do things that does reach younger. His music doesn't sound like it's meant for young kids specifically, though.
Because he never talks about any like mature topics, even if it's like street shit. Even street shit is kind of adult shit, you know what I mean? But he just talks about teeny bopper topics, stuff that you like. It's like he's a perpetual child.
Yeah, his content is surface level. He has
that's a good word, perpetual.
His content is very surface level. No, like I agree 100%. Like, but again, that's what I'm saying. He did this since his first album, so that's why it's kind of like, why are people saying something different now? Because this is what he's always done. He's never put out anything of substance. He's always been able to.
Well, true. I think that the older and older you get, the further you like. When you're 25 doing that, it seems different. Then eventually when you get to 38 and you're still doing that, and then you're painting your nails and putting barrettes in and then making step, do the slide songs, like it becomes a little more weirder, especially when your peer group that's still selling relatively close to you has begun to mature their content. But before we get off this, I do want to ask everybody rating Kevin Samuel scale, no sevens. We done all set with it 2 weeks. GNX, what do y'all rate it? Just quick. We'll go around the horn. Let's go. Johnny first, then David Walker, A Black, G.
I came up. I'm 8.3.
8.3.
I'm 8.3 with it. Yeah, that's where I was Sunday. I'm still there.
Okay, Trey.
I would say like 8 if you use like the whole like span of hip hop, but as far as present day, I would say that's a certified 10. Because the competition so like lads. It was mad refreshing to hear like a conscious rap chord change.
Got it. A Black.
Yeah, I would have to agree exactly how Trey said it. Like overall, I would give it an 8, but like as of right now and today, and just the way his drops have been impacting music and culture, and everybody he makes you excited to listen again, which I think a lot of people are kind of underestimating that's been missing for a long time. This whole thing where the whole culture runs and listens to something like kind of how it used to be when a CD would drop and you had to get the CD type shit. That's how his moves have been, since this whole thing started, like the anticipation level. So for that, it's a 10 because it's like niggas was chilling. Like it wasn't no promo, it wasn't nothing. And then boom, boom, boom. And it's just like the rollouts and the conversation around it, which makes it like a current 10. But if I gotta put it against everything, right now it's like an 8. But
G, talk to us.
Yeah, I put it at like an 8.5. I would say 8.5, solid, like really, really good project. One of the best projects of the year. My favorite project of the year was that Future, that first one that he had put out with the Like That on there. I think that the album was pretty hard, but I think overall it was like an 8.5. And like, where y'all think it rank in his discography though?
Ooh.
I put it above Damn personally. I put it above Morale.
I give it 2, right under Good Kid, Mad City.
Better than To Pimp a Butterfly too.
Yep.
Oh, I give it 3.
See, to me, Section 80 is probably my top.
Damn.
Section 80.
Yeah, Section 80 is probably my top.
I like, but
I don't count that. Is that the first? I count that as like a mixtape.
That was an album,
Yeah.
but I like his like debut album of sorts was like Good Kid, Mad City.
See, that's
once he got notoriety.
I discovered him on Good Kid, and then I went back to Section 80. But like,
I like Section 80 too.
Yeah,
but it's kind of got Section 80 vibes, though. They kind of maybe right.
Nah, I don't think so. I think that I think they completely different directions.
I think
I came up on Section 80 was
Section 80 had samples, and he kind of went away from that quite a bit. I think that to me kind of reminded me of the Section 80, like taking it back, using a lot of samples. But y'all don't fuck with Damn, huh? Y'all think Damn is one of the lower ranking joints?
No, I mean Damn is
for me personally,
real commercial.
But
I feel like, but it's dope.
Yeah, and that's more so what it is. Like, but the thing is, to me, Kendrick's discography is so strong, it's like pulling hairs to where if it's your bottom album, it doesn't mean the album's trash though.
Yeah.
Like to me, Damn's still a really good album. Like you might still put that at an 8, 8.5 or something like that. But all of his albums are really, really good. The album I played the least is To Pimp a Butterfly, to be honest though.
Yeah.
So he's like
great piece of art, but yeah, I'm good.
Like all his albums are different, kind of like how Ye is versus Drake. It's like, man, all that sound the same.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be fire in time for the Super Bowl, man. He's really on a run. That may be why Drake is suing, because he wants to get those plays down, because the whole world is gonna be singing along to a Drake disc calling him a certified PDF, bro. And I don't
gotta take a chord, and it's probably A, and he gonna drop it out just so the whole crowd could say A minor. I guarantee
the whole world, bro.
It be old people saying that, and they don't even know the song, but they know that part. It's like crazy.
Yeah,
that's gonna be nasty work at the Super Bowl.
Okay, all right. So
fellas,
we didn't had an impromptu first listen session, I guess. But all right, to move on to the actual topic. Is there a problem with Black YouTube, with Black content creators in general today? Not specifically wanting to put this as much as on Black media and Black hip hop, because I think that those two end up being its own different conversation that we could probably touch on in general. But content, for the most part, that's created by Black people, not necessarily by a machine. I would first like to ask y'all this. Who do y'all watch? Who is your favorite current content creators, YouTubers, and why?
Consistently, the only people I really do is probably Joe Budden, and that's really depends on the topic. Only like certain things go on. I might want to hear from them. Dr. Umar, I don't know if he count. I mean, I guess he like a damn, but like anybody else is just like I see clips of them. I don't like go to them. Like I see Kais on that all the time now. I didn't know who he was. Now I do. I see him everywhere, but I've never like clicked in, typed in the stream, or he have so and so come on the stream with me. Like I've never ventured to see, so I don't got nobody that's a regular. I just see clips of people, Drewski, Desi Banks. Like I see people's like clips and things. Lou Young guy, the comedians. I see their stuff. But it then, as far as just, is that a problem? Like.
Well, let's not get to getting. That's we gonna build up to it.
Okay.
Just getting like just to feel. So a lot of yours was like YouTube was like Joe Budden and Umar, and then it was a lot of like Instagram content creators like Lou Williams, Desi Banks, XYZ. G, talk to us.
Yeah, I think I'm in a similar boat. In terms of people's pages that I actually go to. Joe Budden, I'll check out some academic stuff depending on what's going on hip hop wise. Honestly, from there, I'm looking at the To Be Fair show, G Shit podcast, quality content. And then next thing I'm probably looking at is Gilbert Arenas, Gil's Arena joint. That joint is pretty fire for the basketball.
That's a good one.
The Pivot podcast. They'll be having some solid interviews.
That's actually a big one. I'm gonna put that down. The sports.
I forgot Shannon too. Yeah.
The sport. That's what I was about to say. A lot of the
520. They hope they're funny.
Yeah, a lot of folks. Yeah, Jeff T. I'll check out Math Hoffa's joints. His interviews will sometimes be interesting because he have journalists in there that can ask good questions and stuff who know history.
Duke Dennis fire too. I like him.
I haven't been to his channel though, but I've seen some of his clips. I said, but that's probably rounding out the channels that I'll actually like go to and see what they're doing frequently.
Okay. Johnny, it sounded like you was hopping in there.
Yeah, no, there's one like outside of what we just mentioned there. I'll check out all of that. But Checks in Effect. It's a Black traveler. And he travels to a lot of different countries, and he just kind of walks POV style and just shows you like firsthand experiences of like being Black and traveling. That's one I used to check out a lot. I need to tap back into him, but then you got I like Kai, especially like what he's been doing recently with like Kevin Hart, and like you can see the production value going up. Yeah, I never thought about the kids aspect of it, just because I just purely thought he was entertaining. But if he is attracting a lot of kids, you gotta be careful with that. But yeah, I like Shannon. Stephen A is a big one. When stuff with sports happens, I like to get Stephen A's opinion. When music stuff happens, I'm probably gonna check out academics. So a lot of time, who I look at depends on kind of what's going on too. That has a big influence on it.
Thanks. Yo, I gotta say Cam and Mace too. Their shit is hilarious.
Hell yeah, it is.
Their shit is hilarious.
And then it kind of fell off my algorithm. Yeah, they was up there for a bit. Trey, talk to us.
Other than Cam and Mace and Corey Holcomb, everyone I really watch.
Corey, another good one. That's 50. You a chat room goon. I ain't know you was a 5150 nigga. All right.
No, bro, he funny, bro. He got some good points about the stuff.
Well, yeah, I
said-
guess
know
y'all
you would
actually
like
would
him.
align with a lot. That is true. Like y'all cousins.
Yeah.
I think we have way more in common than me and Candace Owens. That's for sure.
I wasn't trying to say the person on online, but go ahead.
No, say it, bro. I mean, because I want everyone to see how foolish that sounds, bro. Because nobody thinks
we gotta get there. We
I
gonna
got
get
you.
there.
I got you. Hey, but my list though, I was saying those two are the only people I really rock with, like outside of like the voices of New Black Media, which is
Okay.
like your Professor Black Truth, your Jason Black, and then your Tariq Nasheed, and then Black Alpha Network, and then what's a Shadow Band Network, which is a dude that's more like he's a former like he's been incarcerated, so he kind of have a lot like that type of knowledge. And then this pastor I listened to that's kind of like a Hebrew Israelite, but he incorporates his messages with like archaeological evidence and history, and he speaks Hebrew and all that other stuff. So if I do anything religion wise, I'm gonna need that historical context. I'm gonna need you to, because people's biggest gripe with Christianity, they talk about everything being translated from book to book. So he goes back to the source and breaks it down that way, and it goes to the history. So I'll listen to him a little bit too, and also Phil Scott.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, no, that's what's up. I guess really quickly, just kind of like something that I noticed in what y'all said. So pretty much everybody listens to primarily all Black creators.
Yeah.
I got a few white ones,
No, I mean I listen to like
but it's sports.
and there's a lot of stuff that like, especially when it comes to like information. Like I watch me and Tony talking about Company Man, and I don't even know what color he is because he's not on the camera. I assume he's a white boy. Johnny Harris. I like some of his stuff. So there's certain like infotainment stuff or infotainment stuff that I'm gonna watch that you don't really see too many or at least in these subjects, it's white people that I just see that doing it. So I will watch anybody if you got
Yeah. I'll say like that's only white content I got is like any type of tutorials or anything in tech or AI or learning new apps or shit like that. That might be some couple white people I follow, but outside of that, I ain't even thought about it really until you asked that question. Like, damn, you listen
Yeah.
to
I know when JJ Redick was doing pods, he had good content. Like,
oh yeah.
And
Definitely for the basketball guys.
So I lean NBA. So JJ, Zach Lowe had a good podcast, and the Hoop Collective, Windhorse, and those other reports.
Yeah, Windhorse.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll watch all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'll go to that all day.
And I watch ESPN like almost like YouTube. So I mean, it's all different type of people on there. But
yeah,
like
rest in peace, Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, R.I.P. the Godfather. And the only white people that show up in my timeline at all are ones that talk about like world events. Like this guy, I think it's like Scott Ritter, who's a former weapons inspector. He kind of gives a different perspective on like Ukraine and stuff that's going on over there. But and then maybe some investment stuff or some fantasy advice. But when it comes to like news and media that's pertinent to America, as a rule, I probably only listen to foundational Black American content creators.
Okay. All right. Let me find this. So I guess kind of walking down the conversation of if in general we feel that there is a problem with Black YouTube, Black content creation. Do you think that generally speaking, the content that is created is a reflection of the culture?
I think a lot of time podcasts are more the places where you can get the more authentic view. And I ain't saying every single one of them is right, but I think it's more unfiltered. It's more unfiltered, and I think it's a lot less biased. Where like when you start talking about Black media and like the Black sports guys on ESPN, they got sponsors and they got corporate interests that they have to play a part to first before they can, really speak their mind and say what they want. I think with a lot of YouTube, there's certain rules and there's, that we all got to play by, but for the most part, you can find sponsors, you can find branding that aligns with your views easier. And I think it allows for people to, just be more real and more genuine on this side, whether that's for the good or the bad. But I think it's just more authentic here, and you can find good stuff too.
Yeah, agreed, man. There's nothing like free and independent journalism, because when people start getting sponsors, like the wildest part is, man, even when I heard a lot of like the Time Joiners and whatever, like the Griot and people like that, it was always like the gatekeeper class, and I never really agreed with them. And then now we finally have people that kind of say the quiet part out loud, and then they're able to, gain momentum and then hopefully eventually push some change. I know, Q, you always talk about how people, it's just a lot of talk, but I think that was probably because that talk didn't have like a platform. And now that we have a platform for this talk, we're able to meet like-minded people across the nation and then have conversations with them and actually get a little bit more speed. So it's not just all just like sitting down having conversations and never even, putting any actions to words. And I know it's effective because they mentioned several times during this past election that like they called it Russian disinformation. They said FBA. If you hear someone say FBA or you hear somebody say reparations, that's Russian disinformation or something like that. So they're hearing us, and it's being
where they say that at?
Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but I wasn't trying
on MSNBC. There was Tiffany Cross, the same lady that said,
you gotta fetch that clip at some point. You ain't share that. Yeah, you gotta share that one. Yeah,
I got you. Let me make a note to do that. And the other thing, even Amy, I forgot, it was a white lady that said foundational Black Americans too on Fox News, because you were talking about some things that we knew. And and then you always talk about what are they doing now? They're trying to team with MAGA to get rid of the NAACP. So that's gonna knock out a gatekeeper that's really not doing anything to benefit us, because they spoke out against cash reparations in California. So and then
who are you talking about? Who's the date that you're talking about?
Black Alpha Network. There's a petition.
Black Alpha.
I'll put in the chat that I hope we can.
Who's a part of Black Alpha Network?
That's just the name of the guy. He's affiliate. Like he's clicked in with with the Tariq Nasheeds and New Black Media and all them.
Oh, I think I was asking who's the day that. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Keep going. I was confused at who you was talking about.
Oh no, it's not like a network. That's just what he calls his name is like Black Alpha, I guess, what he goes by. But his station is called Black Alpha Network, and then he put together this. He has like people that help on the back end. So right now they have that petition they do stuff for reparations, and right now the reason that they're going against NAACP is because when they were at that Martin Luther King campaign stop in South Carolina with Kamala Harris, and they went there with a Martin Luther King quote demanding reparation, the NAACP actually kicked them out. So then since then they realized that they were an op organization, so they're trying to take them down because technically under their tax like their category, they're not supposed to be partisan. And they're very partisan. So they're trying to point that out because, of course, MAGA would love to take down the NAACP. So, the enemy of my enemy is my friend at this time. So just something.
Okay, Tiffany Cross is the Black woman.
Yeah, she's the one that says she wouldn't mess with the bus driver. Unless he owned the bus company.
That's not her.
That wasn't her.
That's not Tiffany Cross?
No. The one that said that.
Oh, that's Charlotte. Ebony K. Williams. That's Ebony.
Yeah, but I say Ebony K. Williams from Charlotte.
I get them confused, man.
Okay. Anybody else? Is it reflective of the culture? What would you say?
I think it is. Like, I think after this election, we realized that I feel like podcasts are the new dominant media now. That the traditional media doesn't have the same influence as it did anymore because they have so many people to answer to, so many powers, and they are unbiased. They lean heavily right or heavily left. A lot of the people tune in and tap into podcasts more. And I noticed even this past week with everybody doing their yearly wrap ups with music and songs, and you can do your podcast wrap up, and nobody's top 5 podcast has like CNN or MSNBC or because they all have podcasts now too, but
Yeah.
none of their podcasts are top ranking. It's Joe Budden, it's Joe Rogan, it's Brilliant Idiots, it's all these different podcasts that we tap into. Academics are the streamers now that are coming up. Thanksgiving, all my little cousins, they got more streamers even outside of COD that are
Yeah.
No, they got a whole
Those
squad.
the old nigga streamers a little bit. Like those
and
the ones that we recognize. Like my little brother and little sister, they got
they
their own
somebody
group
else. Yeah, I'm
of
looking, I'm like, who's this? I'm like, you don't know this song. So it's like it's a whole, we see in the media transition, and it is reflective of the culture being more transparent. If not wanting more truth, but wanting something that they can like relate to, because I mean, the propaganda on like mainstream media now is so obvious and blatant that like even you don't even got to be that smart to notice no more. Like on CNN or I was watching Rachel Maddow the other day, and I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? Like they just be like so heavily left. I'm like, do y'all really think people still this stupid? That's why y'all don't have the same influence. That's why they lost that election, because Democrats bought most of the media, in every category. They own the internet and TV and radio, and they still lost because they wasn't sitting down with Joe Rogan. They wasn't sitting down with Aiden Ross. They wasn't, getting off on the memes the right way and really in these conversations and stuff. So, I mean, it's reflective of the culture. It's reflecting of like the shift really of this new media. This is a new form of media, is the people doing the reporting. That's what it's become.
And I think I agree with most of what everybody said, but I will also say that while it is reflective, I also think because of the power of media and how algorithms work, it sensationalizes things, and then certain minorities become way louder than what they are in reality. So even though there might be a significant amount of people who have an opinion, if it's an inflammatory sort of opinion, it's going to feel like it's more reflective of the norm, when in reality, it's a smaller minority that's not really speaking for the larger group. And I think that's one of the probably downfalls of the content is because of how algorithms work, they try to charge us up. So they take all this content and feed it to us in a way where it's not really to like build consensus and community. It builds communities to go against each other, which we often see here in the chat.
G with some beans. All right, so I would say so far we've said that it's a problem, but we also said that it is a pretty a true reflection as well. What would you say is the most problematic section of our current content creation YouTuber sphere that we live in?
I don't think it's a problem. So
Yeah, me either.
So y'all don't think like the 20v1 is a problem? Y'all don't think like the balloon pops is a problem? Y'all don't think that
the balloon pops is good content?
Yeah.
Okay.
The balloon pops is good content.
The creators are not the problem. It's the consumers and it's the algorithm. Like things can only trend to be popular based on what we consume, and then now not only that, based on what the algorithm pushes in front of us. But if we thought the balloon pop shit was whack, it would just die. But niggas can't get enough of it. They got African versions, they got old people versions, they got I saw a crackhead version. I had lined up some crackheads and junkies, and they was roasting each other. I was like, this shit is hilarious. Like I can't get enough of it. But it's what we consume. So it's like I'm a creator, so I say I'm always gonna take their side, because it's like dope, man. If they not smoking it, it's just sitting there. But these people are choosing to consume the worst type of content, and it's people creating all type of good content. You want woke shit, you want intellectual shit, you want financial shit, you want to learn about herbs, tea, whatever. Everybody's making everything. It's what rises to the top be the ignorant shit, but at the same time we be loving it. You know, because we watch it and we can differentiate between like it don't really affect us. We watch some cool stuff and we keep scrolling, but that's what getting pushed to the forefront. But we got all types of creators that's doing everything.
Yeah. If it's a problem, then what we had previously is a bigger problem because at least this is authentic. Because they used to have buffoonery all the time, but it was just written. Now we actually get to see real people and we get to address the problem. Like the balloon pop challenge, like it highlights a lot of problems that we need to deal with. And a lot of the stuff I talk about, without the balloon pop channel, we wouldn't have all these examples right there for us to see.
To go
like what?
On the rug.
Like what? But, examples of what?
Bro, you see how they act?
How people
who's they? Can you put a name? Like who's they?
The people that pick the dudes,
I mean, I think both sides. It showed both sides how surface. It showed how surface both sides can be,
Yeah, niggas be out there tripping. The girls be out there tripping. It's good content. It's good content. I ain't gonna lie to you. I be rolling.
Like,
I guess just going to where y'all at, because I guess I'm trying to understand. I'll ask this question, and maybe this will go closer to it. To me, there's a space where it does seem that the algorithm or the average person, however you want to kind of frame it, depending on how much you believe that we pick our own algorithm, it tends to promote and glorify degeneracy and bad behavior a lot. And that becomes almost common practice and desensitized. Do you think that this is true? Well, you got a wild algorithm as well. Your degeneracy comes from like memes. I ain't about to get into like a whatchamacallit, but yeah. You have a different version of like your own algorithmic degeneracy. But like for the average person, not using this to specifically talk about us, but if we're talking about the content creation space in general, as it reaches the black masses, whether that's your cousin, your uncle, your mama, your whoever, do you think that, or do you believe that it does push a lot of promotion of degeneracy behavior?
Like I gotta say it does, because of one type of creators we ain't talk about are these fucking TikTokers. And the TikTok community, like when you go to I see TikToks where teachers are recording TikToks in the classroom. You see what I'm saying? And got kids singing along to popular songs and doing popular dance trends and stuff like that. Like, I don't think that it's healthy, because like, especially like all these TikTok challenges, the D-Lo challenge, the water challenge, these gorilla dances that's going around. It's like, it's always a dance to some song, and then all of a sudden the kids is doing it with their aunties, and it's just like I don't know. I feel like that's a bit degenerate in my opinion. I'm not necessarily pro all that.
You said the dances?
The dances, man. The little kids be doing too much, man. They all that, bro. And then the grown-ups, it's like, why are y'all doing all? I just think a little.
I think you're about to go down like a wormhole of bad information and shit. You said they dance too much.
It's too much dancing, man. Like Kendrick said, man. It's too much of this shit, man. We gotta get back to where adults act like adults. Kids act like kids, and there's some separation of like what we both see as fun. You gotta think about that. Like, why the fuck am I doing these dances with my kids? And I'm talking about young kids and sexy dances. Oftentimes, these aren't like patty cake and shit like that. Like these are these are adult types of dances. When I was growing up, you would get scolded for get caught doing the Tootsie Roll or the butterfly or some shit like that. Like, it wasn't sick because they're age appropriate. Now I
guess I always thought that the TikTok dances seem like choreography for words. Like, they don't really do too much like like we grew up inside the ass shaking twerking era, in my opinion.
That's what the dances are. Or at least like my algorithm.
like to me, they all be like them doing this. They'll wait, work, then they'll come up and do. To me, I don't really be seeing like the booty shaking challenge ones. Outside of maybe like I think the water one that you said that was when that was, but those were grown people.
No,
but all of like the boss man, D-Lo, like all of those, they be just doing like they be like miming the words. To me, it's like if what's the people at the church that be doing the interpretive dancing? To me, that's what I yeah. To me, that's what they be doing because like they like create a sign for every single word almost.
What you know about that, Trey?
Y'all were praise dancers.
Oh no.
Y'all put that clown makeup on.
No, I was on the we were on the what they call it, the AV stuff in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
With no praise dancing over here.
Okay.
No praise dancing.
You ain't put. Okay.
Hey, shout out New Metallica, bro.
Yeah, shout out.
Okay.
I used to praise dance, but
you said you did.
Damn.
Not seriously. I did it like mockingly, and I would enter like pageants in college, and then I started winning, like because I would just enter.
What you mean pageant?
So like Howard, we have like Mr. Howard, you have like the dorms, or Mr. Freshman, Mr. Sophomore, like little pageants and shit. I don't know if you ain't go to a black college, you don't know how them shit go.
Nah, I ain't going to a black college.
Anyway, I thought they was corny, so I would join them.
And Trey said that with pride, like excuse us, nigga, like excuse us, black college goers. Like
I used to want to go to one, bro.
But then you
really
black American, boy.
But then what happened? You felt more comfortable around them white people?
White girls,
I realized that, man, it's not like the mecca of like black like thought that I thought it was. It's kind of really. It's kind of like
the more intelligent blacks went to the white schools, is what you're saying?
Trey, be careful. Be careful.
I think that. I mean, obviously, bro.
Obviously.
He said obviously.
He wasn't careful at all.
They harder to get into.
Because white people.
I mean, I don't want to. Because the SAT scores say so.
But who make them numbers?
I'm surprised you pro standardized test. That's so European.
I mean, math is math, bro.
Damn, Trey, you happy you went to the white man college?
Got the white man education, passed the white man test.
Yeah. Got white man validation. That's tough.
I used to not, bro. When I hear like Kamala Harris went to the HBCU, and I'm not impressed with her. So did Diddy. He went to it's not what it used to be.
And
we had a competition.
Oh wait, so my bad. Wait, are you for Diddy or against him?
He didn't graduate.
You're usually arguing for Diddy. You just use it as an insult.
No, I'm never arguing for Diddy. I'm arguing against white supremacy. I think there's a nuance.
Oh, okay.
Intentionally or omitting, but so
it wasn't because he was about to buy anything like that. I feel like you said that before.
No, I think Diddy was moving away from that vote or die stuff, and he was suing the people the big dogs. And I think a lot of this is a backlash for that. And I think there is a trend of when black men get rich and successful, somehow or another, the money always ends up back into the dominant society. So I look at the bigger picture. I see that. I don't see it as like I don't have any sympathy for Diddy. Like Diddy did a lot of dirt, and he brought a lot of this stuff on himself. But I don't like this whole system where like nobody, like I forgot, I think it's Chris Tucker or Martin Lawrence. One of them said that nobody gets out the system like scot free. And then if this being another example of that, that's where I stand with Diddy. But I don't like Diddy. Like I think I'd rather him go down for what happened with Biggie or what happened with Pac or what happened with Kim Porter, what happened to these black people that he messed over versus what.
Gotcha. How do you feel about Clarence Thomas?
I love Diddy, man. Free Diddy.
Did he go to a HBCU?
No, I'm just asking how you feel about him.
The only good thing I can say about him is that he got rid of affirmative action because he said it was supposed to help Black Americans and it's not supposed to help all those other people. And I agree with that 100%. But other than that, he's just a typical token sellout person. But so like Thurgood Marshall, I heard that he was like a Fed or something like that.
Don't talk about our heroes like that, Trey.
If he's a Fed and a hero, Can you be a Fed and a hero? I don't know. So I wouldn't talk about Malcolm X like that. But weren't y'all saying that Huey Newton was a crackhead like not too long ago?
Did somebody say that he was on crack?
Yeah, somebody said that he died with some drugs or something like that. And y'all also said that Martin.
Did you say? Did somebody say that he died with drugs or that he was a crackhead? I'm kind of confused.
Y'all said something along the lines of him being a drug addict. Y'all said you.
Oh, drug addict or crackhead?
I mean, what's
usually? I don't know. Usually, you like to be specific, but I'm just asking to make sure that we understand what you're saying.
Y'all said that he was a drug addict, and y'all also said that Martin Luther King was a philanderer.
Oh, he was.
That's a great word.
That's not true. You don't know that. That's COINTELPRO propaganda. There's never been proven that he was doing any of that. The only person that said that was Dice or whatever, and that's the guy that just gotten caught up trying to sneak in that conservative white lady's DMs. And
you can't hate on that. You can't hate on that. How you gonna critique that man? That's not even a fair critique. Like I don't even understand how you can't even like say that about that man. Like he doing what you say we should be doing.
Reparations.
Take your own medicine.
He trying to get his reparations.
But take your own medicine though, because you critique me for that. But then when this other guy does it, you believe every word he says. So I
don't believe every word he say.
You believe what he says about Martin Luther King.
He's not the only one to say it. He who went to a HBCU. But aside from that,
Clarence Thomas went to a white school. But yeah, keep going, G.
No, you know,
also went to Howard though.
Michael Eric Dyson or Eric, whatever his name, he's not the only one to say that. He just happened to write a book, like you said.
Who else said it?
You think he didn't? You think he pulled this out of air to write his book? You don't think he had to go find sources and documents and things of that nature?
I think that's what COINTELPRO does. They try to discredit people that are prominent black figures, and then black people buy it.
Martin Luther King was fucking hoes.
Wait, who said that?
My great aunt. They in their 70s. Like he was disrespectful about it. It wasn't no thing, but
his wife said it wasn't true.
That's why I said it's like you don't think Obama out here getting like you the smoothest black man in America of your era.
Trey, wouldn't you say that his wife is just being on code?
Yeah, she gotta say that. She can't.
I mean, I don't know that. I can't just assume that she's lying. I'm not gonna assume she's a liar.
I think you believe that men of power across time have exercised options as long as they had the options.
I don't believe that there's. I think if there was evidence, like hard evidence that MLK did that, then the dominant society wouldn't waste any time presenting that evidence. And
I think I don't think that nobody doesn't not know that though. Like it's fairly known concept.
I don't think that this is.
And then it sounds like A Black got aunties that
I'm saying
that heard first person.
I think y'all niggas doing that girly gossip, bro.
Before Michael Eric Dyson, before Michael Eric Dyson, it was a joke on the barbershop. Before that, it was like rumored. It's like
no pictures. Do you have any pictures with these hoes?
Like from the 50s and 60s?
Bro, what you think? They taking selfies, nigga? Like what?
Bro, I don't know, bro. I think case dismissed for the lack of evidence, bro.
Back rows of Alabama. Ain't nobody seeing him.
Yeah, he was getting knocked. You know how big the backseat of a Buick was back then? Like, bro, nigga, that's like a twin mattress back there.
A town car?
Bro, prove it.
Come on, man.
Bro. You ain't proving it. You just gossiping. Nah, you just
I'm not gossiping, bro.
If you don't have no evidence and it's just hearsay,
bro, you keep saying evidence, but your line for evidence is what you say is right and wrong. It don't matter what evidence is here. Everybody letting you know this nigga was fucking hoes.
Show me evidence.
Bro, that shit happened in the 50s, bro.
Bro, I just showed you a whole. I just showed you a whole PhD nigga who wrote a book that you don't respect the evidence.
That nigga is an op, bro.
That's what I mean.
But that's because you don't. Yeah, G, you said
no. That's because it's based on behavior. He's a Democratic shill, bro. So you trust Democratic shills?
When it comes to fucking hoes, yeah.
I got you, man. Well, you don't have no evidence, and a man who died, I think he deserves.
Well, he just gave you the evidence. You just don't like the person that wrote it.
No, you didn't. That wasn't evidence. The evidence is this one nigga that wrote a book. It's
in more than one book. Though.
Exactly, nigga. Like I'm just giving you one book. That's what I'm saying. It's not. Hey, look.
I'm Googling. Proof MLK was Flanders.
Hey, at least you respecting the HBCU graduate. You know what I'm saying?
That's
at least you doing
MLK?
that.
Oh, too bad it's not. Yeah, it's not. HBCU is not what they used to be. Now it's Tether. It's Tetherpalooza and the Coon Factory.
Oh wow!
And my bad.
So you're gonna call your own people a coon that go to HBCU?
No.
You said it's a coon factory. It does nothing but like make the coons.
Like
you think the majority of black people that go there is coons? The minority, being that it's a coon factory.
The ones with degrees are coons.
I mean, if based on the prominent figures that come out and speak, yeah, because if they had bro, the reason that we have all these anti-black crimes and we're not getting reparations is because we don't have a competent legal class. All we have is ambulance chasers. Like these Jewish people, they come out and they write legislations, they write laws, they come and advocate for them people. Black people come out of these schools and then they just try to go and find some shawty to mess with, go to the club, buy the car, you know what I'm saying? Like go do all this other stuff, and they don't give back. They don't do nothing for their community.
But they don't do nothing for us.
That's a crazy take. But David Walker, I guess Trey, I would also ask if you're saying all that, what about the alumni of these prestigious white universities that you love? What are those black alumni doing?
I would say they're no better.
Okay, so you just against all black people right now? I'm trying to understand like where you landing this plane at. I think, so like black educated, anybody that's black and educated with some level of college, you think that they're
coons?
I think that the educated, so-called best and brightest, talented 10th are mostly like certified coons, bro.
Okay,
like, I don't think that the spirit.
They didn't go to HBCUs, most of them.
Okay, yeah, I'm not saying. I already said the PWIs. I don't put them above HBCUs, but I'm gonna put HBCUs above PWIs either. It seems like each like HBCUs, I see them do Africa Takeover Day, and then I hear people come out of HBCUs and then giving Juneteenth
you know, like after that much.
No.
I don't even want to go through the types of days that these niggas on their campuses. Like you talk about identities who get to run shit. Like I ain't even gonna. These liberal arts colleges. Oh, have mercy.
These Africans need to build their own school and go take over that, bro.
Oh my God!
These institutions were created by foundational black Americans. I don't want to see nobody come from no other country take over, bro.
That's the
like we built. These are our schools, bro. We can't have nobody coming from overseas taking over, and we allowed them over here, and then they were going to take it over.
Our schools.
Which HBCU got took over by immigrants?
Bro, they call it.
Most immigrants that come here want to go to the schools that you went to.
This is a fact.
Well, a lot of them go to HBCUs too.
Nah, most of them want to go to the schools that you went to. They take pride in their SATs the way that you do. Most of these immigrants are coming here proud to graduate and go to the top schools according to you in selectivity.
So A Black, you don't see a lot of non-FBA.
And it's been like 5 more minutes on this, then we'll get back to the topic. But yeah, keep going, fellas.
So A Black, you don't see a bunch of non-FBAs at these HBCUs.
I mean, they there, but not like a lot. It's not like
because the other week you were saying they outwork us, man. We lazy.
They do. But
okay.
It's also a smaller number than. But I'm not going to act like it. The what they call the valedictorian, John C. Smith, the last 3 years hasn't been an African student.
They have been an African.
Yeah.
Rest my case.
Why is that their fault?
But isn't like Nigerians like one of the highest performing groups?
They got the
regardless. Yeah, but I say regardless of like ethnicity, black, white, Asian, whoever.
Nigerians,
you're not. So you must not be included.
I know it's African engineers. Shit.
So you must not be including the Africans in Africa, right? You must be including the ones here. Because if we go there,
that's only what we're talking about. If he's talking about in John C. Smith, and we're talking about how they perform here, that's clearly what we're talking about.
No, because
but here, as Americans, they are almost quote unquote the model minority. They have a really high what is it, GDP. They're really, really smart and they perform well. That just is what it is.
And they go to those types of careers.
That's not true though, because
because
what have they done that we haven't already done?
See, you're making a way different argument. We're just talking about stats right now, not like your feelings, how you don't like them. We're talking about like what they act like, how they're actually performing. Like valedictorian is an actual like a real thing. Like if you don't like them, or if you're saying what are they doing that we haven't done, that's not a comparison point that we're talking through right now.
Okay, there's another thing. If you take the best and brightest foundational Black Americans and you send them to a school in Nigeria, and then you say the 4 or 5 that came in that school, which are the best and brightest over here, are outperforming these masses over there. That's not a fair comparison. You can't.
But do you think our best and brightest go to school in America?
Our best and brightest. I would say some of the smartest people I met didn't go to college.
Okay, well, if we're just using college as the metric, because that's the only thing that we're judging by, do you think our best go to school in America or abroad?
Our best go to school in America.
Then that makes your point moot, because then they're still competing against our best.
I disagree though, man, because they aren't the valedictorian at every school.
Exactly.
I don't think that was the statement that was being said.
Because you're saying
we're not getting their best from every school's not getting their best. Like Howard might be getting the best Ethiopians or Africans from rich families and things, but Smith or Winston or Shaw, they're getting immigrants from countries that are barely scratching and surviving.
Don't put Winston in the same category as Johnson C. Smith or Shaw, respectfully.
They always BIAA.
This is actually a fact. Same conference at that.
But
like you got to at least move to a MEAC school to kind of like.
We're like a school of the state and the people. We're not like for uppity private students. Like we're actually like a state school for people who can't really afford to go to y'all's place. Like, so you could compare Johnson C. Smith to Shaw, but Winston State is a place where some of us without resources actually have an opportunity to level up.
But
Shout out to Winston.
But that's the same thing I'm saying. It's like I'm sure y'all have African students there too, and they didn't come from like no rich families or nothing like that. A lot of them became smarter when they got here and they worked harder, but they wasn't like top of their class where they left and like, we're going to send you off to America. Like, no, it's just like they applied to school here, and then schools have to meet certain quotas for international enrollment. So you want to accept students from other places, and you're going to give them easier admission, just like you would if you go into West Charlotte or Hardin or somewhere, and you looking at low risk kids or high risk kids or whatever in different areas. They just get enrolled. They don't make them apply and stuff. So you're not always getting the best, is what I'm saying. It's assumption that they're sending their very best here is not true. Sometimes they become their best when they get here.
That's spoken like an educator right there.
I think you
I done seen his Instagram. He done taught some courses at Smith. He might have been at T. I don't know. A Black be a little bit everywhere.
He was interviewing NBA Africa.
Train like that one. That train like that.
My bad.
He put an emoji underneath it. I ain't gonna tell y'all what emoji it was.
Most of the Africans at Winston came by way of Charlotte. I do think that's a fact.
You said most of the what?
Most of the Africans that were at Winston came by way of Charlotte.
That's probably.
I think y'all are kind of misunderstanding what I'm saying.
That went the
because y'all kind of making it seem like these people's success has something to do with their being foreigners, where I think it has more to do with the fact that they came over here with a purpose to study. So Black Americans over here, we have plenty of we have way more Black millionaires than Nigerians do, but the Nigerians don't. Well, before the border crisis, they weren't sending over like they're downtrodden, they're people that have been over here, and then all this. The people that were able to come over here, they were selected. They got their green cards, they got their work visas. Before the border crisis, they were picking people that had skills. A lot of those people have parents with degrees and all the other type of stuff. So you bring them over here, bring them to the schools that Black American built, and then say that they're than us at our own stuff. And that's where I take exception to. It's almost like this thing where we just have to bow to Africa or bend the knee for Africa, where they should bow to
Nobody's
us.
saying bow down to
we're going
Africa. Yo, when did anybody say we should take a knee to Africa?
Nobody says that.
Yo, we just talk about how you prefer white schools. That's really the only thing we was talking about.
Listen, spin doctor, boy.
Damn,
Barry Sanders with the spin right here. I love that. But hey,
more millionaires than us.
Y'all can hear me?
yeah, we can hear you. But fellas, let's try and
about how they do.
Let's try and get back. Let's try and get back on track for a second. I imagine that
we're supposed to be talking about YouTubers.
Yeah. Somehow, again, I tell you, we're gonna devolve regardless. But nonetheless, I guess just kind of going through some of the. Oh, my bad. I actually want to ask this first. So, do you think that? Or why does it seem that the majority, if not all, Black content creation created by Black people is fueled by some version of division? I guess that'd be a way to put it. Whether it's, we can go with like the gender wars, the diaspora wars, the political back and forths, like almost anything that you would go with. The rap, we said we ain't gonna touch on hip hop today, but almost every version of content that kind of exists that's created by Black people outside of comedians kind of don't. Well, Cat Williams set the earth on fire. I don't know. Corey Holt be going crazy. Yeah, Corey get to it too. But it's based off of some version of inciting division. I'll toss it into the air. Algorithm. But okay.
I think it's incentivized. It's incentivized creators to do that to make more money. So that's what they do because they know that's how the algorithm will get them paid.
Okay.
That I think people like to see the world burn. Even like
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Our like even some of our biggest content. Even though most we argue all day long, but even our biggest content is FBA Pan-African. And, and that big fight. And I don't think we came into that wanting to be divisive.
It wasn't intentional.
Created. It's just it just naturally happened.
I didn't know it was a thing prior to the start of Unpacked, to be honest.
But I'm saying it's just something that we discovered. We just find it. It wasn't like let's go out here and fight on camera or let's do this. Nah, that's just how it happened, and it probably is like that for most content creators. And then at some point, you just try to figure out how to capitalize on it. And I think if done right, it's a good thing though, because I think that's the whole purpose.
Division.
With the two beef notes, seeing both sides of a coin.
Yeah,
and it ain't about division, but it's about seeing all perspectives. And now, sometimes that leads to division if you can't properly communicate it out. Then you'll just have two people that I said this, and we just not gonna agree. We ain't gonna work through it. But if I say this, we don't agree, and we can figure out how to find common ground. I think that's where good, fruitful conversation comes from. It's not always possible, but I think that's where division comes from, is when you get lost trying to just have that good conversation, see both sides.
All right, if nobody else kind of has any,
y'all might just be maybe out of touch. Y'all might just be like kind of out of touch, because I feel like even on our chat, I say things all the time. You say it's an echo changer, then we bring it up, and apparently there's a lot of people that, you know, that see that perspective. The same with the FBA versus Pan-Africanists. I could have told you that this existed, but we did the panel and y'all were surprised by it. So I think the echo changer.
This is your wheelhouse for sure.
But I'm saying a lot of these things where you say it's an echo chamber, I think the echo chamber may be on y'all's end, where you never are exposed to these conversations that are happening outside of your own individual echo chamber. Because
gotcha. But I guess if you was to say, like, generally speaking, G is inside kind of his own space up in Raleigh. A Black is like his own version of like creator here in Charlotte.
Don't disrespect me like that, please, Q. Don't put me in.
Oh, my bad.
Come on, bro. Don't.
Oh, my bad.
Please do not do that to me.
And listen, I'm also gonna do you one better right now. You're a Dookie. My boy Isaiah Evans going crazy.
He going off. He going off.
He had 18 in the first half. Play that boy. They listen. They trying to have that. They finally played him. And like what we've been saying is the truth. That Charlotte boy,
play that boy.
It's going to show him like
that for an extra year, so he don't get out of there too early.
Well, no, it's really a promo scheme for that white boy. But if you let Isaiah play enough minutes, it's clear who it's going to be. Yeah. It's clear. But nonetheless, Durham, North Carolina. My bad. Johnny, he's a South Carolinian / North Carolina, lives in like where's that way different pockets and spaces of things to where us like we represent fairly enough diverse outside of just being black men, where saying we're completely out of touch in comparison to like the content that you consume already, not just being echo chamber conversation that you knew would go viral because of that fits within like the narrative of your echo chamber.
I think that one thing y'all may have in common, even though you just went through all your, different backgrounds and everything, how it's somewhat diverse, is y'all have like very antiquated like viewpoints where y'all were probably 100% right 10 years ago. I didn't say. I said antiquated. I ain't call y'all.
You said y'all.
When he say y'all, whoever you talking to is specifically for you and everybody. But what does antiquated mean?
Old fashioned.
All four of y'all.
What does antiquated mean?
Like
there we go. Does outdated usually mean old or?
We all wrong.
Bro,
it's
nice, bro.
But usually, anytime like everybody's against Trey, he says that it's the YNs fuck with him, so it's all right. The South End YNs, the South End engineer YN. Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I'm saying I've been kind of polarizing sometimes. Sorry to the chat, especially the seasoned FBAs. I want to bury the hatchet there. I know I said a lot of inflammatory things, and I take that back. I would like to start a new leaf going into this new year. So, but anyway, I think a lot of the mentalities are kind of antiquated to where like, especially like the gynocratic mentality that a lot of y'all have, to where I'll call out a problem that's been going on for generations, and black men finally have a voice to speak up on some of these things, and you're like, nah, God bless the Queen Mother Black Goddess type deal. And I think a lot of that stuff is getting kind of played out. And then also this diaspora thing, I think there has been this thing where a lot of them kind of look down on Black Americans, and then they kind of close doors. But then you get on social media and you see all kind of akadas and all kind of stuff, all kind of disrespect, and then we respond to that disrespect, and then it's called divisive. Whereas we have to really ask ourselves, was there ever really any unity? Is there even any unity in the places that they came from? But we had this Pan-Africanism would have been nice. We had this whole thing where we wanted to unite with them.
Trey, I don't want you to go into like the full like manifesto against like Pan-Africanism.
The super short version. Super short version. I think,
but we're not really on that right now. Like, hey, Triangle, like you got like this talent to be able to make it.
Division.
Okay.
But y'all said the
All right,
vision.
so look,
I'm
But
trying to
what
explain the
you're
vision,
saying
and
now
I don't even want to talk about it.
has already like flown away from reality. Like nobody up here has ever said Mother Queen Black Goddess. Nobody up here is like everything you just said does not apply to anybody on this fucking screen, nigga. Everything you just said is like just something that shit is gone. that shit flew away. It's out of here. I don't even
Okay,
know
yo,
where it
I
went.
put some Esther on it. I put some Esther on. I admit, I put a lot of Esther in the things that I think that was a general theme. I slightly embellished it. I'll give you that, but I think there is a lot of being overly defensive when folks try to call out people for not being accountable for what's on their end. Because we had generations of the color purple and stuff like that, and then black men ain't ish. But now when black men finally have a voice and they're trying to, talk about their perspective, then it gets into, oh, don't you criticize them? Oh, you hate black women, and that's not what it is. It's just a response to
gotcha.
something that's been
Trey,
brewing for a long
listen. I
time.
think that you
That's
could
all I'm
probably
saying.
get a couple more of these clips off on the diaspora war conversation of the content creation, and probably what we're about to lead into. That was a great segue to get us into one of the big spheres of content creation right now. Whether you say the 20 versus 1, you say the balloon pop, you can go with the Manosphere podcast, like the No Fugazis, like the Slut podcast, like I can't think of any of those names, but or just like the relationship, the gender battle conversations that always happen, like what is it, tonight's conversation and shit like that. Are there any good relationship podcast / creators out there, or is it a bunch of people setting unrealistic precedents for relationships?
I mean, I think there's some bad ones out there for sure.
Nigga,
That's obvious, but I think like there's this guy called the Wolf I've been watching recently, and he's like pretty fair. Tonight's conversation, I don't watch it too much, but I do see them taking more of the man side when it comes to like emotional intelligence, and I believe it's a fair, respectful, and a lot of times from what I see, it can be a productive conversation. So those are two examples of like mainly like relationship podcasts that I like that I think are productive. But I mean, there are some that just aren't. And I mean, it's probably way more of those, but there's some good ones out there too. You just got to find them.
I ain't found them.
So yeah, I guess we'll go to you, G. Are there any productive relationship podcasts or creators, or are we setting unrealistic precedents for relationships?
I think I have not seen any ones that feel genuine and like authentically real to like what real relationships look and feel like. If there's one sort of show, it's not a piece of content, it's on Showtime. It's a show called Couples Therapy where they actually be in there with a real couples therapist and real couples talking through different stuff. Like if you're in a relationship and you've never been to couples therapy, you should just at least look at that show to get a feel for like why that sort of thing could be beneficial in a relationship, because communication is really the foundation of strong relationships. And so I don't really see many or much content actually talking about the things that really make relationships successful versus, like you said, it tends to be more about these inflammatory or what I would call antiquated thoughts of how relationships should be that tend to come from the manosphere or these other pockets of social media. I think that's more of an antiquated view, in my opinion.
Anybody else? A Black, talk to us. Do you think that there's some good relationship podcast creators out there, or do you think that it's setting unrealistic standards for relationships in 2024, 25?
My quick answer would be no, but I don't think I watch enough to like be like, all right, this is good, because I mean, I'm not really into it. Like I said, I catch some clips, some little viral clips, and some niggas on some microphones and crowd oohing and eyeing, and you know, I ain't paying your bills, girl. You got 3 kids, and everybody go crazy. Like, I feel like a lot of the conversations kind of de-escalating a little bit. I'm sensing a little bit more understanding, but I don't know, man. It's like I don't think it's productive because people relationships are like ending every day. Is somebody new? It's like, who next? So I don't know. But then on the flip side, you got people that relationships that's fine, and they usually are the quiet ones. The dysfunction is real loud. So it kind of seems like it might be an imbalance out here because when you are stable, when you good, you don't really have a need to really validate it. So it just seems like everything is fucked up out here. But I don't really think it's that bad. But I think the content does well, so people keep creating and rehashing these topics. But for me, it's just like entertainment for real. It's like your relationship is gonna be your relationship, no matter what's being said on the internet. You got to make it work for you. But I think it's kind of just fun to participate and troll in it. But I don't be taking it serious, and I wouldn't take a girl serious that take the shit serious either. Like,
my fault. G, what did you say was antiquated, bro?
A lot of mindsets that come out of the manosphere.
A lot of the mindsets that come out of the manosphere, and like what?
Like, to be fair, I guess they call it traditional anyway. Traditional means like an antiquated mindset.
Old-fashioned and outdated is the definition of antiquated. So if you want to have a more old-fashioned lifestyle, that would be antiquated.
I see. So a lot of the stuff they talk about fit, friendly, and feminine, is that antiquated?
No. Kevin Samuels was the go-to relationship content.
Yeah, traditional.
I still kind of push back only because when we walked down the Kevin Samuels conversation, I feel like everybody said that they didn't really fuck with his actual points. They just fucked with who he was and what he stood for. Trey, my bad, Trey. You was a little different. But I think that majority said that a lot of what he stood on, we ain't got to really revisit it right now. And if y'all want to do it at another podcast, we could. But it was good that he put a light on the actual male perspective in relationship. But a lot of it, whether it's like the men, what is it? Exercise your options, or like these different versions of things. These aren't like specifically real things that anybody's living by, as much as like the idea of being able to, on the other side, showcase the delusion of women is something that was real.
I wouldn't say that nobody lives by that. But I retracted it. I can see. I think that you front facing, you do like state a lot of Kevin Samuels, Corey Holcomb points. I think this. I'm talking about, I disagree. You said people don't live by that. You saying that, like, as far as exercising options, I think the difference is, like, especially in our community, you saw
the average black man ain't exercising options,
right? But the average
getting away with it.
But the average white man can. Like, look at, for example, Bill Clinton.
The average white man's not exercising options.
Bill Clinton's not an average.
He's not like the average white man.
Bill Clinton was the president.
Bro. All right, so let's compare him to Barack Obama, for example. They're both presidents. But
why are we doing that when we're talking about average people? Like, your gauge for average is using two presidents.
Example that we all know, bro.
I don't know if the average black man not exercising option, but there are plenty of niggas exercising options. I do think that is. I don't think it's a majority.
You think they're exercising options scot-free and letting their woman know about it?
No. That's not a lot. That's not a lot.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like that's.
I see that in my day to day with
a lot of black men exercising options, getting scot-free.
With black women.
They're not dating. They're not with black women, but yeah.
Oh.
But most black men are with black women, right?
I'm talking about. I tried to use Bill Clinton's example. You didn't like that. Now I'm using the example of people around me, and you don't like that either. So I don't know what to do.
I'm just saying, aren't most black men with black women?
Yeah,
about 90%.
Yeah. So it's not a lot.
But I'm saying I think that's kind of the point. I think because we have a gynocracy, we're kind of held at bay. to where like I wish you would, black man, versus other people like I'm gonna do what I want to do.
So we should do more like the white man. Is that what you're saying?
I think black men should not be the only ones who are like neutered in a way where they have to like obey their women when these other folks, like the original passport, bro, was white, but when the black man does, it's a problem. That's what I'm talking about. Like when I talked about the president, Bill Clinton, he had all the interns, he had all the side babies and all that. Hillary Clinton never said a negative word about him.
Bill had side babies.
Yeah. I'll send you the information on that because
okay.
I'll send you more.
Oh, that's a hell of a side baby right there, boy.
Yeah, right. Niggas ain't ever heard it.
And this from the president.
Yeah, and Hillary, and Bill
would have got that thing aborted, man.
It was a black, and it was a black woman, of course. That you know, that Bill has a half black son.
That he claimed?
No, he don't claim that, man. But he got paid though to shut up. And Hillary don't like. I'll send you the information, bro. It's kind of like you know how them Clintons do, bro. Like they shut up about this. So before it got hush, there's some stuff I saw in my little algorithm. I'm gonna send it to you. But I'm just saying, like Bill Clinton did all that.
Hey, Uncle Trey is on code today. He said he has a black child. Oh damn, Kofi too.
Hey, Kofi agreed. Wow. It's a cold day in hell, boy.
Yeah, it is. It's freezing right now.
But I'm saying, so Bill Clinton did all that, and Hillary Clinton didn't say a negative word about him and stood by his side, even cape for him. Then you get Michelle Obama get on stage with like I forgot what it was. It might have been Joy Reid, one of those ladies, and then she said that there were times in the marriage she couldn't stand Obama. So if that is the
but didn't you say Obama wrote a book saying that he liked men?
But is that worse than having a whole side baby and getting caught doing the stuff in the Oval Office?
You don't think that's worse? So what you think is
Bill
worse?
Clinton, I don't know what.
What would you prefer? Which would you prefer?
I wouldn't be surprised if Bill Clinton did. Bill Clinton was on that.
Trey, which would you prefer? Which would you prefer for yourself, Trey? Would you prefer to be Bill Clinton or would you prefer to be Obama? Like which of the two scenarios would you prefer for yourself?
Assuming that Bill Clinton didn't do the same thing, which I think he did, then I would rather be Bill Clinton. But with them Epstein Island dudes, I wouldn't really be too like. I wouldn't. Who knows what?
I thought you was against the gay BCs in the schools and such. I didn't know that. As I was saying, I thought you was very conservative, antiquated.
I mean, I think we're getting away from my point. My point is that Barack Obama didn't do anything in the open. He didn't get caught doing anything. He's been a model citizen. He was beloved by the black community. And Michelle Obama sat up on stage and said that she couldn't stand him. And as a black man, I feel like that's only things that happen in the black community where the disrespect is. If that happens to Barack Obama, what's my chance, bro? Like. Even he's not good enough as a black man for his black wife, then like dang,
wow,
bro.
You internalize it like that?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
I really didn't like.
And remember, this is a conversation about presidents where we're basing it off of average people.
Wow, I didn't have no clue that made you feel so like what's that gonna mean for you because of how Michelle. Wow, I didn't know,
bro. Because it was a gynocracy on a world stage, and where she basically. Like to say that about your husband, that's emasculating, bro. For your wife to get up in public and talk negative about you, she's supposed to be your representative. And even he's not able to survive the gynocracy unscathed. So yeah, that hit home to me.
But he's not really FBA.
But that don't matter, bro. He's still in the black community.
Oh, he is. Okay, all right.
I'm saying he's subject to the American gynocrat. And I think the gynocracy isn't limited to America as well. Because you see a lot of, as soon as these other countries that get under, like they're not doing the child wife where they're selling them stuff like that. They're doing like some of those tribes. But in like South Africa, they deal with a lot of that same stuff. In the UK, it's not just the FBA black problem. I think we have a problem in the black community with we have a matriarchy and we have a gynocratic situation. And even Obama isn't immune to it. So I only brought him up because he's that's like buck breaking. You take the biggest buck and you break him, and then what that mean for the rest of us? I felt that was like a buck breaking.
But he not one of us. I didn't think you related
Bro,
to him in a way where you would feel so.
Hey, fellas,
he's under the.
Let's try and wrap up the
All right,
relationship
all right.
and dating podcast conversation. Obviously, this could be all of these could really be their own version of full conversations. I guess I would ask a question that bleeds closer to where G was at earlier. Do you think that, or is there any relationship podcast that actually highlight the things that make real relationships work? And if not, is that the problem with the relationship podcast, manosphere, slut podcast, balloon pop sphere of, content?
That's a good point.
Because who's making the content that's actually practicing what they preach? It really
that's also the
biggest thing for me. It's like, how can you be so, how can you, like, where's your resume as a partner? You know what I'm saying? Like, what relationships have you been in? How successful were they? Like, how serious were you? So what gives you that credibility to kind of speak with certain authority? That's kind of my,
or at least don't live a life that contradicts the advice that you're giving.
For sure.
You see that a lot with a lot of like the relationship.
What was that dude on Facebook? Yeah. That's like the great example. Like this fool boy, man.
But that's what the Cooley guy is going through right now as well. From what is it? No Fugazi.
Oh, they say he don't live his raps.
Nah. I think he said single women are recreational use only. Unfortunately, my bad. Single moms are recreational use only. Unfortunately, the girl that he now has pregnant or has a kid by was a single mom with two kids from a white man. This is a white woman though, but she had two white kids.
Okay, that makes sense.
And yeah.
Who like it completely like what's the like give me a little background.
He might be like he's taking the football and he's catching it from the fresh and fit guy. So he does a lot of like that. So he does like the women, bring a bunch of women on and tell them how they stupid thing.
He's also
I seen Buddy getting grilled up though on one podcast.
Yeah, well he also does like the debate night where he tells people to call in, and typically he gets roasted, but like he says that he wins at the end, so he believes it. And so it's a bunch of compilations of people just pointing out like he tries to do like the Kevin Samuel talking points where he's like, or maybe that's fresh and fit, I don't know which one it is, where it's like if your woman is exposing herself in any way, then like that's 304 behavior and XYZ. Then it comes out that his girl that got the two kids and was pregnant by him, or is pregnant and he got a kid by, is on the internet thirst trapping. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things. But it's like the story of all the guys, like the fresh and fit guy. Mm-hmm. He got the OnlyFans model knocked up. Like you can kind of go down the line of every single one of them. I don't know of one of them that actually live their actual raps yet, and that's kind of like the interesting part.
Is he Arab?
Who, the Cooley guy? No, I think he's like
Fugazi, bro.
Yeah, that's Cooley. No, I think he's like regular FBA. You could do a hairline test to him. I'll let you do that.
Let's not just give him the label now. We got.
Yeah, I'd take a look at him. He's a MAGA black.
A lot of them like the Myron like gangs, like the Myron, because the Myron is
he a Philly MAGA. He like a Philly MAGA black. He say John and Bull.
I think he used that very flippantly.
Yeah, he say John and Bull. But but nonetheless, all right, let's move on to the next one. So the next content, a very, very popular one. Shit, we are currently engaging in this form. The live streamers. We'll place it at the bigger one. So we're speaking Kai Sanat, I Show Speed, like y'all said, Duke Dennis. They're all a part of the AMP house. I want to say you have like the IRL streams that people do where they walk around and they ask whether it's homeless people, whatever questions. This whole sphere of the live streamers within the black space. First question I ask y'all: has this become the modern day minstrel show?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Ooh, it depends. There is some of that.
No. I would say no, because if you're doing it yourself and you're making the money and you're benefiting from it, and it's your choice.
All right, my bad. Is this the modern day self-owned minstrel show?
I think it's the modern day Truman Show.
Truman Show.
Yeah.
But would you use CassiusTrey stream as like an example of the Truman Show?
Yeah.
Or would that?
He's kind of a minstrel show, but he said the FBA
don't have show is
like they make it seem real, but it's orchestrated. It's all
minstrel show. We talking like coon shit, right?
Yeah, like what about when he streamed from prison? Was that not coonish? Like prison's not fun.
Yeah, he did like a 7-day prison stream.
Yeah, it was kind of coonish. Bro.
I mean, yeah, I ain't like that. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
And he said you ain't got no culture, John. He said Black Americans don't have no culture.
Who?
Cassius said that.
I saw him say that too. But I mean, at face value, like the last one he did with Kevin Hart and Drewski, it just looked. And like I said, I ain't watched the whole thing, but from what I saw, it just
something to be commended. He did make that. Was it a Caucasian kid or was it like a chubby Hispanic kid cry?
He made him
Drewski.
cry. Yeah, he called that boy fat or something.
He said, "Hey, with that little fat nigga," and he tripled down on his
doubled and tripled. He's like, he is.
He's like, I get called fat nigga all the time. Like,
he got to get used to it. But.
Hey, Fat Boy, that's a good one. But we agree. Derek Jackson. I think somebody said that. And Yada Awakening. I just heard about him. I think I think he's a dude that think that. I don't know much about him. I just seen him one time debating. What's the dude? Anton Walker. And I think his whole thing was that men, no matter what stage of dating, you should be trying to pay all your woman bills or some shit like that. It was some wild shit.
Y'all got 17 domestic abuse charges.
For real?
All his shit is capped. Like he pandering.
Most of you gotta have $2 million to take care of your woman, or you.
Listen, A Black is the Hotep police. He gonna make sure we know.
Anytime a nigga is saying what women want to hear, he got some slick shit going on. Like anytime too many women are agreeing with a man, it's gonna be some shit. Like he's pandering because, like, why do y'all agree with this nigga so much? Then this nigga been beating all his wives. Like the shit just came out like last month. He got hella mug shots, like 5'4", going to the jail, domestic abuse, smacking up. It's just like crazy.
No, I dig it, and I guess I didn't know there was a term simposphere, but yeah, I also think that the simposphere is probably a problem. It's definitely a problem.
It's definitely
a lot. Like, yeah, I mean, I get it, yeah, but like. Yeah,
my bad. But we moved past relationship conversation. We was on live streaming.
I'll try to go back. Yeah,
my bad.
But I think the live is entertaining. Like, and I think it's like mostly like harmless compared to like the really graphic and hood movies that we've seen, like the Snow in the Bluffs and stuff, and the music. I think a stream with Drewski and Kevin Hart and CassiusTrey is just harmless, hilarious. Just, almost wholesome entertainment. It's not 100% family friendly, but it's not.
I ain't gonna lie. I watched a lot of the first time they did it at the other studio that he had. I guess he has a studio.
I think he moved houses or something. It looked like.
Yeah, I think
he rented out a whole crib for this like marathon he was doing. He rented out like a whole Airbnb because like when Quavo went in there and was like, "Shit, I think we had a party in this bitch." Like him and Drake threw a party at that same joint.
Oh, that's
sound about right.
Hey, that might not be that lit.
Well, not today, but it probably used to be.
It probably was a good party, but
yeah.
What kind of parties they was having?
Exactly.
Parties.
Right. Careful. Right. It seems like it's a good variety though. Like, but what do y'all think about those non-FBA dudes walking around like doing like gorillas and making monkey sounds and freaking out over chicken?
Well, Johnny, not Johnny. Trey, does this deal with live streamers right now?
It's a content creator, and you were talking about coonery. So
all right, we'll listen. I think that let's save that for the diaspora wars section. Right now, we're talking about like live streamers at the moment.
You said that this is a minstrel show, and that's the most minstrel shit I can think of. So that's why I brought it up. But
that's not the live though. That's a different group of people, and I think that is a minstrel show, putting on monkey costumes. But that's not what Kevin Hart and Kyle was doing.
Yeah, I think that's.
Somebody was wearing a monkey costume.
That would be a minstrel
Trey put it inside the chat. I don't know what it was at, but it was a yeah. We'll get to that at the later point. All right, so I guess we can move on. I think that another big section of the Black YouTube sphere, maybe you would say content creator. Well, yeah, content creator as well, because you have a couple content creators that really dive into these things. The socio-political commentary. I'll hint at let's say the Roland Martins, the Candace Owens, the FD signifiers. You can kind of run down a line of these guys that kind of have a very strict point.
Are you putting Tariq in there?
That'll be in the diaspora wars part.
Oh, okay.
Man, he does so much more than a diaspora war, bro. That's to reduce him to that is crazy.
Well, I think that whether we say that he's done more or not, this is not a reductive statement. I think that his ideology, or the ideology that has been birthed out of the FBA movement, whether justful or not justified, it has pushed a lot of content that has propelled the diaspora war, whether the diaspora war was already there or not. So it's just it'll be easier to address it inside that, where a lot of the content ends up being based around some of that. But if we're just talking just pure political commentary, like I said, from the Candace Owens to the Roland Martins, to Mark Lamont Hill. I guess I'll ask this quick question. Are we directing Black people to be different types of monoliths?
I don't know what you mean by that.
So an example of this would be Roland Martin wants you to be a ride or die Democrat, right? A Candace Owens of sorts would be they want you to leave the Democratic plantation and be a ride or die Republican, not be independent, not be a centrist, but it's pushing Black people to just be tribal on a different side. And that in itself goes back to the idea of stoking different versions of division. So I guess I'll re-ask the question. Are we directing Black people to be different types of monoliths? I.e., not we, but our political streamers, or not even streamers, political commentators, directing Black people to be different types of monoliths.
I mean, I think there's some that I think it's a reaction from some of them.
Okay.
I think sometimes if we see something at one extreme, your natural reaction is to run so fast to the other side that you end up at another extreme. And so I definitely think there are some people that are maybe overstepping the boundary or going too extreme on the other side in response to us being so far to the extreme on the opposite side. So yeah, it does happen. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because I think it's good to have these different voices. If you have one side pushing to be a monolith over here and the opposite side pushing for monoliths, it's going to naturally spread the people out. And I think that's can only be in the long run good for Black people to have the different thought processes out there. And the disagreement amongst our community ultimately should be a positive thing.
Hey, hold on. You said Mark Lamont Hill, and you said who?
I'm just speaking specifically about political streamers. I don't want to get into explicitly very specifics. I gave an example of a Roland Martin or Mark Lamont Hill or Candace Owens. I'm trying to think of another Officer Tatum is usually a fairly right leaning political streamer. there's a couple different ones I can give you. If you give me a second to just think, I can name a couple Republican black streamers as well, if you would like me to do that as well. But I'm not good. Streamers, but commentators. I was just using as quickly as I can spitball two different versions of the owl.
I feel that answers the question. If you're talking about those guys, and I definitely think the black media is a problem, because I think it's the way it's accepted. Because I tried to bring up Tariq Nasheed earlier, and then you said that we should save him for the diaspora war. But I think he's way better in this category than anybody that you listed as far as political commentary, because he talks about how a lot of the talking points we bring up about what have Democrats done for us and why we should be politically independent. He talks about why are we voting for the lesser of two evils, about reparations and things like that. So that's why I said it's kind of the reductive thing to put them in the other category versus the new black media, where we have the Phil Scotts and the Professor Black Truths and the Jason Black who speak on these from a black empowerment perspective. But if you want to get into the Mark Lamont Schill, he'll advocate for the Palestinians more, or he'll or Moist Lamont Schill, because he's very he also advocates for the rainbow community. So and then Roland Martin, the same thing.
Do we advocate for reparations or no? He don't do that.
No, we don't do. Nah, if he does advocate,
he literally does.
He's not FBA though. So when he advocates for for reparations, he does it in a way that he says that it should be race based. So
he's not FBA.
No, he's got non FBA. Right, I mean, you always rub. I mean, this is important, Q. Like, you think if a person is talking.
Give us his what's his breakdown? He's what?
He said that it should be race based. He said reparations should be.
I'll go find it. What? It sounded like you knew his lineage. What was it? He's like half black and half something else, or is he like completely? Like what?
He's some kind of Caribbean. I can't remember the specific. It was a while, because there was a discussion about this very topic, where he was talking about reparations, but he was speaking about it, making it race-based. And if reparations are race-based, it will be shot down in the Senate because that's illegal. It has to be lineage-based. So we don't want people talking about reparations unless they're talking about it being lineage-based. Otherwise, you're an op, and you're gonna mess it up for us all. Same with Roland Martin. He talks like these people, they talk about reparations. Like right now, they're doing a reparations bill, and they said for descendants of slaves. It doesn't say American descendants of slaves. So then Elon Musk just said recently that all people are descendants of slaves. So we have to be very iron tight and specific about how we talk about these things. If you talk about these topics and you don't make it lineage based, then you're doing way more harm than good.
Gotcha. All right. So if like your argument is generally speaking that you would like to include Tariq Nasheed in the political commentary,
and Jason Black,
cool.
Yeah, and also
like I don't know the name. Like, yes. So the black, what is it? You use the term.
New black media.
There we go. New black media. Yeah. Is also, and the new black media, are they directing black people to be different types of monoliths?
No, they're directing people to be on code. And I think if we're a monolith,
on code would be like a version of a monolith, right?
Oh, well, then I don't think I think if black Americans get on code, we will be a problem, bro. I think our biggest weakness is our lack of ability to be on code with each other, support each other, look out for each other, put our lineage first. So if that is an echo chamber, I don't see that as a negative at all, bro. That's exactly what we need. So if it is a monolith, by your words, then I think that's a great thing. At least we're not.
Okay, so you would say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
G, talk to us.
And this is like, do it create the, what you say, the mono? Did you say
like our current culture of political commentary in the black community? Like you typically have either you are, for example, this political cycle, you had if you don't vote for Kamala, you're a X, Y, and Z. But then on the other side of the black commentary thing, it was the anti-Kamala. She's not really black. Get off the Democratic plantation, become, Republican, and Republicans and Trump will do X, Y, and Z. To where both of those are just pushing people to be a monolith. It's just whichever monolith that you would prefer them to be. In comparison to actually like have like an objective or centrist or moderate opinion and decide which way to actually go.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that's, almost goes back to one of the other points about the type of content we make and why we make it. And I think in the political sphere, it fits the same reason why we get this inflammatory content from other Black creators too. It's like, whether you're making content that's pro-right, pro-left, it most times has a clear brand in which it leans. It's like, we ride for this team and we talk shit about the other team. It's really become like that sort of rhetoric, in my opinion. And I don't think we have many independent voices, true independent voices in the Black content space, and especially when it comes to politics, where they're talking about things without emotion, without a horse in the race, so to speak, like where they're just really looking at objectively what's going on in the world of politics with the policies, the politicians, and going from there. So I think, yeah, like you said, it's kind of like, it's just causing more of that divide in the community versus help build like a real community of like understanding that we have differences, and let's talk through those differences and try to come to some common ground.
Gotcha. And did everybody answer?
But G, I got some people for you if that's what you're looking for, bro. Because the people that you listed, I would agree with you. But I know plenty of people that talk about specific issues, talk about specific plan of action, and they stay up to date on all these political figures and what they do behind the scenes. So that's there. It's just, kind of, you have to know where you're looking.
Share the links.
For sure.
Johnny A. Black, I can't remember.
Yeah, I answered.
Okay.
I think it's a good thing because, like, if everybody's not going, if there's two sides pushing to be a monolith, we're naturally going to get a political balance, or we just end up in political divide, unless but it
sounds like infighting to me.
But I think that'd be better than a monolith, though. It'd be better than us voting almost 90% one way every time. I think that ultimately in the long run would be better for us, even if it is initial conflict or, resistance to it. I think ultimately it would be for the best.
It's definitely more politically, because it'll make them have to like compete for us. Like they'll have to
actually do something for granted.
Yeah.
Both sides. We have to do that. Like, I'm definitely for that. So if it takes, a little coonery or whatever we want to call it, and some motherfuckers simp it out and sellouts over here, some cools over there to make it all work out in our favor, then ultimately that's the best thing. But it's not going to always be pretty, or we're not going to always agree with everything. But that's
so I guess in what you're saying, the belief that trying to move all Black people over to just the other side, or just be monolithic to you, instead of thinking more centrist in making the best decision from there, you think that's the best for Black people?
I think it's better than the status quo. I think it's better than where we're at now.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the best, but I think it is.
Isn't that where we're at right now? I think
not based on how we voted earlier last month.
Okay.
Not absolutely not.
But John, we didn't vote. Like the turnout was down.
It was 86%, bro. Like,
but they're talking about, but that's of the Black people who voted. So if a lot of Black people didn't show up, then that counts too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean that's but Trey, turnout was down across the board. It wasn't just Black people. It's not like we didn't show up just because. Turnout was just down. There was a lot of white people that didn't show up. The Black, I don't think that was us being strategic.
I think they proved though that if Black people had turned out in like places in Georgia, like the Black population that sat out this time could have swayed the election in these.
But that's Democratic rhetoric, just like loser talk that they're pointing fingers to say like, if only this happened, like
they
if
just
this happened in this little small part. But that's but what if other parts of rural Georgia went crazy too that didn't go as crazy this part too? So it's like they don't really say both sides.
No, I think you kind of misunderstanding, because I'm not talking about from the Democrat perspective. I'm talking about from the Black grassroots perspective, where we know that a lot of us talking about voting the couch, like it doesn't take a whole lot of votes to sway an election, because you know how the system works in these electoral college states, where a lot of the swing states have cities that with a significant Black population. So if we don't show up there, then I know that it doesn't, like, if by percentage and Latino, I think if you look at the data and you see where Black people didn't show up, where they showed up before, you can see that we have way more power in our vote than you like to think. Oh, hey, John, it's like, man, kind of the fetus, bro. Our voter base has power. Otherwise, why would they pander to us?
I'm not saying that we don't have power, but what that, like, Georgia did, like Georgia voted red. So the argument that if we showed up, we could have swung the vote would be an argument that would be pro blue. You feel what I'm saying? That's a democratic argument as to why they lost, blaming Black people for not showing up.
You saying that if Georgia turned red, so if Black people showed up, like if Black people showed up, it wouldn't have turned red.
It did. It was red.
But David Walker, Trey, I think that you're saying. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, G. But within your ideology, your belief is that Black people set out to vote because they didn't fuck with Kamala.
Right.
So if those Black people showed up to vote, they would have just voted the other way.
If they showed up to vote and they voted for Kamala, then
Georgia but those people that you're saying that didn't show up to vote would be voting the other side anyway.
Right. They
so it wouldn't have mattered.
Trump.
Right. Well, whether it was independent or the other side, they would have showed up another way. So it still wouldn't have been a vote for Kamala based on like your take of how and why voter turnout was what it was.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, like the votes that were missing whether they voted for Trump or they didn't vote for Kamala. They still had an impact on the election. And like you said, they weren't feeling Kamala, so they didn't vote. So that had an impact, especially in places like Georgia, where we've proven that if we do show up and vote, we can turn the state blue if we want to.
Got it. And I guess I'll throw this last one out. I'll try and throw this last one out. We're gonna put the call-in link after this question, and then we'll get into the we'll get into the diaspora wars after that. But the lack of nuance on both sides. Do you think there's a problem? The fact that right now, to be a part of either side, there's almost a participation of cancel culture on the other side. The term, whether we want to use the C word with two O's and an N, is thrown out loosely for either side. It's funny how like both of them throw the same exact term out. Is that a problem within our political sphere? The fact that we can't actually have civil disagreement to believe that both sides are trying to work in the best interest of Black people?
Well, I think that's the biggest issue. Like, even when we're trying to have a productive conversation here, we have to say no ad hominems to even try to work through it. And on a larger scale, if this is a microcosm, imagine that on the larger scale. And it's like the bigger it gets, the harder nuance is. And if it's that tough to have it amongst us, and we all, you know, we're pretty smart. Yeah, it is.
I mean, among us, like, you don't have to say that until the call-in section. Like, we don't. I think we talk to each other pretty respectfully. Like,
it'd be ad hominem stone all the time.
Yeah, wait till Alex pull up,
bro. But I thought we were talking about the.
Oh no, just wait till we get into the chat. As soon as the episode ends. No. I'm talking about like the regular chat.
I'm talking about the chat today.
I was trying to tell us today.
It's crazy.
Well, between the five of us, it's pretty tame though. I don't think we have any problem. I think we talk to each other.
Well, that's also because of there was ad hominem stone. We was definitely called antiquated and different other versions of terms.
Antiquated, bro.
It's ad hominem. I think
slick one.
Antiquated.
Yeah. Listen, I don't care about it. That's why, like, the thing is that this group of people, we don't really care about ad hominems. We just kind of truck through it and we kind of throw our own little slick little things here and there. It's not that big of a deal. But I would also say that, yeah, once we get into whether you want to say, huh?
Just because it's a big word don't mean it's offensive. Like if I said it was outdated,
that makes it offensive, Trey. That's like, yeah, that's
I wouldn't say that. I again, like I said, I'm not offended by the word antiquated. I don't think that any of us, and that's why it's able to kind of like we just play around with it. So then we just find ways to throw it back at you. But the idea that no ad hominems are thrown and that we're not doing it is just the fact that none of us take offense to anything. And that's the way that we kind of carry on the conversation in comparison to just pretending we're not throwing ad hominems.
But that's the reason. Like we're not going to end up with the unity is because we do a good job working through it into the call-in section, but it's tough and it's something that even we have to work through on this level. And
well, depending on what we're talking about, if we stay on relationships long enough, someone will be called a what did you just say a second ago?
Queen lover.
Trey?
You gonna call
a mommy goddess loving
like mommy goddess queen lover. You gonna call
I told you I embellished that. I told you I just added I owned up to that.
What was just said about the majority of, and we got 3 black college graduates on here. Like if you graduated from black colleges, like
I wasn't talking about you. I said the college was a coon factory. That doesn't mean everyone that comes out is a coon.
I understand.
No, it's not a good coon factory then.
Okay.
Made it through the cracks. You know?
They already coons when they arrive to the PWI.
It's inefficient.
They need quality control.
It's not enough of them coming out.
They got to recalibrate the coon machine. That's crazy. But nonetheless, I guess this would be a good time to kind of move to the quote unquote diaspora wars of things. So I think 4 out of 5 of us said prior to like engaging in just this basic Pan-African versus FBA conversation, this is something that we didn't know even really existed. So I'll ask this startup question. Obviously, it's asking, is there a problem with quote unquote the diaspora war conversation? So I like just addressing like the rise of black infighting and that it seems like this only really exists online.
When you say infighting, you're talking about.
So right now, we'll put that out into the like the general Black American sphere, and so that mixes in the FBAs and the Pan African, however you want to get into it.
I think for an American to have a disagreement with an immigrant isn't infighting. Like we're,
but what about? Like
I'm just using black
generation, like a Mark Lamont. He's not an immigrant. He's born in Philly.
He's still an immigrant.
He's a natural born citizen by definition.
He's not our lineage though.
But he's a natural born citizen by definition. He's not an immigrant.
I'm talking about lineage. I don't go by like this construct of what black means in America. Is lineage.
So you call like most white people immigrants too?
Yeah, they're all immigrants. All white people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's immigrants, but foundational Black Americans.
But for the sake of of classification, for like understanding, once you as an immigrant get to America, you then identify as black on the census, as we agree, right?
But that doesn't mean you're amalgamated into our culture and our lineage just because
No. I'm saying, but from an American classification, like just the objective census, the way that they collect data and create demographics about America, they do lump us together in that census. Do you agree? That's making sure we on the same page.
I agree. That's how white people define this. I don't understand why that's relevant. I don't care how.
But that's not just how white. There are people who.
That is how white people define
But Trey, no. There are black people who welcome black immigrants into black culture and identity. That's like you have a strong opinion on. No, they can't be a part of. But there are plenty of black Americans who don't have that mindset, who are Pan-African, who do think, quote unquote, like a global whatever type of thing. Not saying I agree with that, but I'm saying
I ain't gonna lie, like
exist.
Only within this last 7 months have I heard the anti-African rhetoric from black people. To be honest,
I don't think it's not really anti-African as much as it's pro-foundational Black American, because I think a lot of this comes. I keep beating this to death. It's a collective self-esteem that we've been missing, to where we just look at ourselves some like lost Africans. So anybody that comes over here, they just like us. Well, now that we're tapping into our lineage and our roots and over here and taking pride in that.
But do you like embracing African heritage as well?
I don't have no African heritage.
All right, so that again, that's what I'm saying. This isn't something that I've heard prevalent past the last 7 months. Me personally,
right? Because you looked at yourself as a lost African. Like you just a displaced African that happens to be in the white man's land in America.
Refugee.
Versus the new mentality,
refugee of sorts.
The new mentality is this is our place. This is our home. This we built this. We have a long lineage. This is ours. So if a person comes over here, just because they were born here doesn't mean that they're tapped into our lineage and our.
I'm not saying that they are, but they're not immigrants. Their words mean things. When you're born here, you're not an immigrant. You're an American.
What's a first generation immigrant then? Is somebody
an American? A first
generation immigrant is a person that was born here. So why do they call them immigrants?
No, that's not. They're first really generation Americans, nigga.
They're not really.
That's what they are. Like, bro, when you're born, when you're from a what we're talking about. When it comes to what an immigrant is in America, you're either a legal citizen, or an illegal alien, or a legal immigrant. Like, it ain't but so many classifications. You're either a citizen, meaning you were born here, or you naturalized. It's very simple. If you're born here, you're a citizen. They're trying to change that, but they haven't changed it.
Yeah, Google first generation immigrant, and I guarantee you it'll come up. I didn't make that up.
Bro, what I'm telling you is that if you're born here, you're not an immigrant. Your family.
I think what he's saying. Can you check
Webster?
Can you check first generation immigrant on census?
Bro, that doesn't.
Check first generation American on census, and I bet it say the same fucking definition.
Does it say first generation American on the census? I haven't filled out a census, so I don't know.
The answer will be no. It doesn't say that.
It's very interesting. My label will not.
Like, ain't no census box for first generation immigrant.
I didn't think so either. An immigrant is a person who comes to live permanently in a foreign country. So, okay, if you have immigrant background, to clarify, if you have immigrant background, then we can just go by that. Then that means you're a different culture. And we don't have to let them lump us into one big Negro category where a person with an immigrant background, we have to negotiate with them.
Yeah, look, but you're
and everything like that.
I don't disagree, but you're talking about what it should be versus what it actually is. They do lump us in.
We can make it what it is. I don't care.
Okay, but let's talk about what it actually is for once. Like we can make it, yes, but today, what is it? Like, we're just talking about today. What is it today? Not what's wrong. Not what's wrong with it.
No, on your side, we're one big Negro. On my side, I'm a foundational Black American. So I already made that definition. There's other people that made that definition too.
The government of America won't acknowledge you as an FBA.
I don't care.
You want these niggas who pull out your sovereignty card when the police pull you over?
No,
when these Moors,
the Black Moors.
Yeah, you Black Moor, right? No. Be in a Black Moors jail.
You're making this way too complicated, bro. My lineage isn't defined by what the government defines.
No, but I'm not talking about your lineage. That's my point. You're making this about you, nigga. I'm talking about the country of America. Like, this ain't about you.
About nothing else but lineage, though. That's why we're having this.
So that's why we can't have like intellectual conversations about this, because you don't care about nothing but your lineage.
Exactly.
All right, so fellas, I guess this would be a great time for me to hop in and ask you another question dealing with the different spaces within the diaspora war. This is one to trigger Trey. Is the pro-black is the black media helping or hustling us?
Hustling us. That's crazy. Oh,
Is the pro-black media helping or hustling us?
Question. Why do black people always attack their advocates? It goes to Malcolm X, it goes to Martin Luther King, even Harriet Tubman got smoked. Every time a black person tries to stand up for his people, they got to deal with people writing books about them, philandering. It just goes on, bro. So like right now, for you to even ask a question about are these advocates hustling us, it's like, bro, just don't pay attention to them. But to be out there like saying anything negative about our advocates is off code as hell, bro.
Who told them?
Even if they are hustling, like
right. So I guess. Well, and I was about to say the funny thing about what you're saying is that I am like, you don't like Dr. Umar. I imagine you probably would say that Dr. Umar and his Pan-African perspective would be a hustle. There is a point of agreement to the actual topic that you have right now. Like you're just having like an emotional response to the actual topic with who you actually agree with, in which it's not like pointed to like a new black media thing in Tariq. This is addressed across the entire board. It's not like I didn't say, do we feel that Tariq Nasheed is hustling us? I just said the pro-black media is helping or hustling us. You personalized it.
Okay, Umar's hustling us, but I'm talking.
So you do agree with the concept, then,
bro?
You raised a lot of hell to agree with some shit,
bro. I think the proof is in the actions and then results. So yeah, if you're doing something, if you're like taking 20 years to build a school and then you're not doing anything, but you know what I'm saying, hustling and trying to meet police,
it's hard to get that age back, man.
I think that's hustling. But
that's a good one. Next summer it's gonna be up though. Next summer it's gonna be up. Stop playing. It's coming up next summer.
Class of 2029.
But if you out here doing real work out here, then and other black people are criticizing you, I don't want to get emotional, but I do like that does like piss me off, bro. Like when people are doing real work out here and then you criticize them, like not this Pan-African stuff, not trying to help us get to the motherland. But if you,
what would you say about like creators that made a lot of money off being Pan-African, then suddenly switched to FBA?
If you're talking,
does that sound like a grift, or would that be like something that you would say is helping or hurting?
He was not a Pan-African. That's what tethers say.
Oh my bad. So when you say when we look at the first few
Hidden Colors.
Like him saying that the black samurai was first samurai was black. That's not a Pan-African view.
No, I think you can say.
Oh, okay. That seems fairly Pan-African to me.
No, I think you can say something positive about Africa, but that doesn't make you a Pan-African.
But calling that person black and that he was in Asia and he came from Africa sounds Pan-African by definition, right?
No, I don't think. I think when I think Pan-African, I think about these people that are talking about go back to the motherland type of stuff and calling.
So only thing that Pan-African means is go back to the motherland, or that all black people. That's not it at all.
No, when they look at us as some displaced Africans, and
that's
we're
not
all
Pan-African.
Yeah, well, like again, like you're building a straw man, but like Hidden Colors was about like saying, oh damn, Beethoven was black also.
But that's not Pan-African.
And he came from the Moors. And the Moors came from Africa.
Pan-Africa is this idea of like we're all united because we come from Africa. That's like the foundation of the idea. We're all the same people that come from this continent, and we're connected from that. Whether you're black in Spain, black in China, black in India, black in Australia.
And a lot of the Hidden Colors was saying, hey, this is what black people did all across the world. This is why we should be proud of them in America.
No, Pan-Africanism is a term that describes the idea that people of African descent share common interests and should be united.
That's what I just said.
What was Hidden Colors about? Is that not what Hidden Colors was about?
I mean, he also made a movie about.
He had Dr. Umar on.
Umar was in Hidden Colors. Yeah.
He made a movie about Haiti. He made a movie about the indigenous people. Like, just
that does sound like a hustle, then, right? So, are you making movies about people you don't fuck with to make money, then, or did you believe what you was making money off of?
Nah, just because you say something positive about Africa doesn't make you a Pan-Africanist.
Oh no, but if you make 3 documentaries about it, I think that is either a hustle or you are Pan-African.
Yeah, TBI is right. Y'all don't know what Pan-Africanism is, bro.
I just explained it pretty clearly, and you agree with the definition. That's not what it is. You just repeated it in
and when you got in the box, you just said, "Y'all know."
I just said exactly what Pan-Africanism is.
No, I read the definition, and you said that we should all be united. Tariq doesn't talk about uniting with abroad.
What? No. Read the definition again and say that wasn't what Hidden Colors was.
Pan-Africanism is a term that describes the idea that people of African descent share a common interest and should be united.
What was Hidden Colors about?
It was talking about
the first 3.
It was talking about. Let me read the full title because it doesn't just say Africa, Africa, Africa. It talks about Black indigenous people across the globe.
Talked about they were out of Africa theory on Hidden Colors for sure. They were definitely pro out of Africa theory on Hidden Colors. Like Dr. Umar was on there going crazy.
Sure, you can't like you're trying to rewrite. You're trying to rewrite history.
No, I think that's what you're doing. I think you're trying to take shots. You take another shot through the sheet like you often do, but you also big up Candace Owens, which I think that's kind of weird.
When did I big up Candace Owens?
Because I tell you,
where does this come from? Like right now, you're getting triggered off of something that didn't happen.
No, because I mean, I think you were doing exactly what you accused me of. Because Tariq never said anything. The triumph of melanin, the religion of white supremacy, the art of black warfare.
So did you watch any of those 3? Did you watch any of them?
I watched them all. Yeah.
So what was Dr. Umar talking about if it wasn't Pan-Africanism?
He had a Pan-Africanist on the panel. Yeah, there were Pan-Africanism that he had let speak. But
why was he talking about the achievements of Black people all across the world?
That doesn't make.
And then tying it back into Black America.
So you think that makes him a Pan-African? Talking about achievements of Black people?
No. I'm asking you, why was he doing that?
Because he was acknowledging Black excellence across the world. Does that make him a Pan-African?
I think that at that time, that either you were hustling it or you were Pan-African. Those are my 2 things.
That's not the definition of Pan-Africanism.
He's a race hustler. He not
no. The thing is, I'm not saying that he is Pan-African. I said that either he's Pan-African, or to what the question asks, he's hustling.
Bro, no, because it's
like one or the other. If you don't believe it, then it's a hustle.
I think he does believe it.
Then he's Pan-African.
No, he's not. That's not the definition of Pan-African.
Saying so why?
If you're promoting Pan-Africanists,
it's not Pan-African. Did he didn't say Pan-African? Did he say the word Pan-African?
He's providing a platform for the most popular Pan-Africans to speak on.
So that makes himself a Pan-African because he has a scholar
or a hustler. It makes him Pan-African or a hustler.
So if he platforms a person that is a scholar on African, that makes
TBI. I'm gonna pull you up in a second. Y'all need a better Tariq lawyer. He's inside a hell of a box right now.
No, I'm not in the box, bro. Because y'all
right now he's either a Pan-African or a hustler. Okay. It's okay if he's a hustler. Maybe just take the idea that he just hustled them, the quote unquote tethers or something like that. But you can't be both or neither.
He hustled men who couldn't get women with his Pimp Chronicles and that. And when he was doing that phase, like he saw opportunity in the creative documentary space that nobody was doing. He's the producer, and all a producer does is bring everything together. But just because he produced it doesn't mean he gotta really have those values. But he can have the value of capitalism. Like, I can make money off of this because nobody is doing this or talking about this stuff right now. I'll produce it. But he's not a Pan-Africanist. He's a race hustler. He kind of goes from one to the next. The FBA is his new hustle. You know, he went from that to this FBA thing because he has idiots who actually follow him and trust him. And he's like, y'all actually follow me? Cool. This is my new hustle. Let me make some shirts. Let me make a brand out of this. This will be my new thing. But what is he
off code, bro? Y'all off
what he accomplished?
Look. I think that he believes in what he said. Okay. So what did he say that makes him a Pan-African? Platforming Umar? Is that your argument? Like, what makes him a Pan-African?
No. Like, it's the actual content of the literal document. You watched it, right?
Yes.
Like, all it does is detailed.
Hidden Color's whole concept is based on linking Black American achievements to African achievements and connecting how we're the same and we're one. That's the whole
literally the documentary.
No, the whole thing of Hidden Colors is this has been hitting from y'all. Let me reveal the African connection to Black America. That's the whole concept.
So, Trey, you can only be either being disingenuous or like you haven't seen Hidden Colors. That is the basis of the entire series.
No, it's not.
Oh my bad. At least the first two. I think the second, the third one was like the global white supremacy shit.
I ain't never
seen the first two. I know the first two. That literally was the basis of it, connecting Black people in America to the achievements of Africans across the diaspora inside different countries.
It says Hidden Colors 1: The Untold History of People of Aboriginal, Moor, and African Descent. He said, "What Aboriginal, Moor, and African descent." If he was a Pan-Africanist, why wouldn't he just say African?
It's what's the difference between African descent?
No, he's a Pan-Africanist. Why did he say African?
He didn't say FBA descent. He said African descent.
But how's he a Pan-Africanism if he's talking about indigenous people, global?
I don't think he's a Pan-Africanist. I think he hustled and used Pan-Africanism as a hustle.
So you don't think he believes in what he made in the documentary? Because Q said that
absolutely not. I believe
he believes the stuff.
Getting money.
Yeah, like I'm aligned with him. I think that I think that he doesn't believe the things inside the documentary if he's at where he's at. I think that either he had to believe it at the time or he was a hustler. Right now, everything looks like it's a hustle. The nigga hates Haitians now, but just made a Haitian revolution. My bad. You're right. Listen. That's a strong word. If for like a softer segment, you would like me to use like he has disdain for certain versions. I didn't even finish the sentence.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen. Listen, just relax a little bit.
For certain versions of Haitians that come at him with contempt, he gives them smoke back. So that means
or disagree with him. Like it doesn't have to be contempt.
Nah, if you do something that has if
you just question an idea that he has. I've heard it multiple times in his streams.
Well, send me a link sometime of a person that
I got you.
Talked to him respectfully, and then Tariq Nasheed was disrespectful to a person that was respectful to him.
It seems like he does that. That's not even like a hard one to find. Usually, if you just question a version of his ideology, he would say, "Where you from?" Or he's going to ask you or say that you might be a suspected white supremacist. That's typically what he does.
Send me an example where someone came and talked to him respectfully, and then he treated them disrespectfully. Because I've seen him have cordial conversations with all kinds of people who disagree with him.
Gotcha.
But I think you're just being kind of like sensitive to where like you're kind of like I think people have this long fame where they don't want to like punch down on people from third world countries. So even when they say something disrespectful to us, just because you want to be like chivalrous and all that, you want to allow something back.
Like you're making a point that has nothing to do with like where we're at in the conversation.
Because my point is a response. You're saying that he is whatever to Haitians. I'm saying the Haitians that say something to him and he responds negatively, they provoked him to do that. And a person can't provoke him and then you get on him for responding, because that's called low self-esteem. When you just think that people can talk stuff about your lineage, and if they say something back, then you're a grifter. You're just trying to hustle because you're defending the community.
I imagine that would be low self-esteem if that's what he did. Again, I disagree on that. That's what he did, or that's what that he does consistently. Like I said, Tariq, he like it's not really hard to find these things because of even through the guise of comedy, in which that's the other thing that a lot of times followers would say. No, so all I'm saying is that he will shoot first, and it's okay. I don't hate Tariq Nasheed, but calling it as it just is what it is. But going back to the point, it sounds like either he believed in the Pan-Africanism or he exploited pro-black media documentaries for pretty much a hustle. It's like one or the other.
Nah, that depends on your definition of Pan-Africanism, which I think is flawed.
Like if you ever watch Hidden Colors, it's a Pan-African documentary. There's no other way that you would classify it.
Everybody who has speak on there has some came out against them and called them fraudulent and stuff.
This is also a fact, but we do have a couple guys that have joined us. Fellas, we have actually derailed completely from, and I see you in the back end. Completely from the topic at hand. So starting off, I would love y'all to address at least the topic at hand. I'm gonna give y'all 2 minutes to kind of get busy and say what you want. Got another one in the back end. I'm gonna bring him up after that, and then we'll probably have just some version of a group conversation. But we're gonna start off with FBA Zone. TBI, talk to us.
Yeah, help me out, dog.
What's good, brothers?
What's going on? So have black YouTube and content creators become the problem? Again, I know you got other parts that you're going to want to touch on, but again, 2 minutes is on the clock. The floor is yours.
I'll just answer that question now, and like I said, I'll touch on that stuff later about Tariq and Pan-Africanism. But yeah, I think a lot of the non-FBA podcasters have kind of put some weird stuff out there, man. A lot of their content is not really. I mean, you look at people like CassiusTrey, he's blown up. I mean, the content that he makes really doesn't bring any value or anything like that. So, but I mean, you got people like the New Black Media that have contributed a lot of like consciousness to the community and things like that. So I think it's just depending on who you're talking to. And then I think there are some non-FBA content creators that may put some decent things out there, but a lot of what I see is come from people that are Black American, being solid. Like even the guy, I think it's Phil, got his name, Phil, the African Diaspora. He believes in some Pan-African stuff and he puts out good content, but he's also Black American. So I think it's just really who you're listening to and kind of what they're putting out. So I think it's pros and cons to different content creators. A lot of the, like I said, people from different backgrounds, I've seen them put out like buffoonish type things. And
I guess as you're going, so you believe that the line is drawn specifically on the idea of being FBA and Tether if your content ends up being of I guess dysfunctional or not.
I think it's. I mean, I will say there are dysfunctional FBA creators as well, but I feel like the people that have pushed it forward and put out positive content, most of those people are FBA. But the negative content, you have it on both sides. But I feel like the stuff that's pushing everything forward and being progressive and really putting us on our square and where we need to be has been foundational Black American content.
Got it. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go to Kofi, not Kofi. Kamu. Kamu. Talk to us, brother.
Hey, how's it, gents? All right, man. The Black
hey, before you go,
is a shame, to be honest.
Hey, Kamu, before you go, was that you playing the piano? You could actually play. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm a pianist, bro.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know you was a musician. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, the Black YouTube is a shame, bro. Like, really defined platform like these, even if you find them, like, it's like people don't really give that much attention. The platforms that get attention as platforms that promote degeneracy, that promote black on black violence, that promote talking trash about women and stuff like that. So um I feel like black people want to behave like white people on these platforms, and it's like we're not on the same level with them. We have no business doing what they do. We should be using these platforms to empower each other and stuff like that. So the whole landscape of YouTube, Black YouTube, is a shame. Is a shame, bro. Please, can I speak on Tariq and Dr. Umar? It's a shame, bro, to compare
Got a minute
someone
left
who.
though. Well, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Someone who's building an institution to someone who's just a pure hustler. There's no argument about Tariq being a hustler. Everyone knows that, bro. My country, imagine a government took 15 years to build 3 universities. An entire government with a budget took 15 years. Dr. Umar, bro, is on his 10th year and people are coming for him. It's like, are you serious? Do you know what it takes to build an institution? We are 30 years later.
Man,
We still don't have a bank, a black-owned bank. An entire
that's
government
the
presiding over a budget doesn't have a bank. And you are out here hearing people saying Uma is a scammer because he has bought the school, but he hasn't finished the process in a period of 10 years, and you come for that. It's like, are you ignorant,
The
or
renovation.
like, so it's a
bro.
shame, bro. It's a shame.
He comes from education, man.
And
He
we
should
all
have
know
been
that
able to
Tariq.
get that up quick.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna leave y'all up,
Do you
but
know what they
hey, Kamu, I'm gonna let you get back to it, but we're gonna bring up another. Again, we're 2 minutes on the clock. A favorite. Kofi, talk to us. Colloquially and affectionately known as Coffee. Now I'm messing with you. Talk to me, Kofi.
What's up, fellas? What's up, fellas? I mean, interesting show, but this is something similar that I always have amongst my friends. There's different niches for everybody. It's like TV. Like, I don't agree when people call the TV an idiot box. If you're looking at idiots all day, then he has the idiot box. But if you're looking at documentaries and learning channels and informative things from informative people, then it could be, a very good tool. So again, black people are just people. You're gonna have the people tuning in to the earth is flat, to women need to just shut up and sit down and behave and just pop out babies. There's a niche for that. There's a niche for that, and I don't think black people are any different from any other group. It's just that the things, I guess, we we have our little niche ideas about, as a reflection of our culture and what's going on right now, which is a little bit different for us. Like, I'll say, we've been here already to the diaspora wars and to things like that. And to me, things like that, they're good conversations. I like junk information or whatever like that. But, when you have people who, prop and push certain people in New Black Me and things like that, it really, to me, it exposes how educated you are and how, and if you're just receiving low information or disinformation, and you can't differentiate on one from the two or the other. But like I said, there's going to be a niche for everything, so I don't think that's really a reflection of us per se. I know it's a pro-black channel, but it's just human nature. Everyone's going to go, find, a channel or people that's their tribe, and they're going to gravitate to that. And lastly, yeah, you guys hit the nail on the head. I'm not going to, it smells, you guys already cooking Trey on there, but yeah, what you guys are pretty much saying about Tariq Nasheed is pretty much true. He ripped it off of Pan-Africanism. That didn't work. He, and then he just, that's where, after he had all these hidden colors, it is a Pan-African documentary. The point, he had a
It's
whole
not.
bunch of professors on there that were so-called FBAs. Some were not FBA, whatever, because he was his Pan-African shit. So, you know, that didn't work out. He found a bigger bag to grip off of, and that's pretty much it. But, you know, there are going to be people who like him and people who don't. But, you know, again, we got to be honest and, you know, believe and just believe what we see. So that's pretty much it.
Got it. All right, so we got another favorite to the chat. Talk to us. Has black YouTubers and content creators become the problem? What's your thoughts, Unc?
I think that black creators, a lot of them aren't the problem because some of them actually believe the bullshit that they be saying, you know. And then you have people that's followers, like the people that follow Tariq. They are like old grandmas that used to go to church and would fight you over the pastor. As you see how Trey act over him. I'm just saying.
Listen.
I'm not trying to be mean.
No, I get it. I'm mute you really quick. All I'm saying is we gonna refrain from no ad hominems. We're gonna get through it without it. I get like whatever point that you're trying to make. I think that y'all can have that conversation afterward. But yeah, just stay to the content. I got you. I'm muted. Here you go. Talk to us.
But what I'm saying is that, you know what I'm saying, they have followers. And that's all it is when it comes down to it, followers. And you listen to the word followers. They are people that follow them, whether they're right or wrong or whatever. They're going to believe the crap that they're saying, and they're going to do this or that, whatever. All of them have found people who don't, basically, most of them don't read anything. They will watch a video, and some of them don't even watch a video. They hear from hearsay from others, even not even reading or watching the video from what someone has said to them. It's like I said, that's just the niche that's in there right now. They're not doing anything positive. You know what I'm saying? What they're doing actually is dividing amongst people, because when it comes down to it, it's like you look at it far as in, you know what I'm saying, Caucasians are Caucasians. Europeans are Europeans when they come together. Because once, you know what I'm saying, a person say, oh, so-and-so, but they're white. But when it comes down to all of this, it's like, oh, I'm this type of black, I'm this type of this or that, whatever. All they doing is just dividing people with all the bullshit that they doing. And
divide and
they
conquer.
That's it. Is my 2 minutes over?
Turn your TV down. But let me ask you this. So who are your favorite content creators that you're checking out right now? What does your algorithm actually look like?
As far as my content creators, I really don't look at that many content creators as far as in anything like that. I look at Corey Holcomb show and stuff like that.
Okay,
I look at stuff that's funny. Yeah, I look at funny stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to content creators, my favorite content creator is y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. I don't really listen to too many of them, because when I do see them, they're talking a bunch of bull crap. At least y'all have different opinions, and you know what I'm saying, and this, that, whatever. All of them are just strided to whatever they're going to do. You guys have four or five different opinions that come from different minds. Most of these content creators, when I look at them, they're just going straightforward. I hear you guys argue about the same topic, even though you guys have love for each other, but y'all have your own opinions. That's why you guys are my favorite content creator. Outside of watching, you know what I'm saying, other shows, like I said. Shout outs to Corey Holcomb. He's funny to me. But
5150. I rock with the 5150. We appreciate you. That's love right there. I think that even David Walker could appreciate that last piece, where again the ability to disagree aggressively but still have love for your brother. I think that we all can appreciate that. Kofi, TBI, Camus, I would love for y'all to answer that question. Who's like your YouTube / content creator algorithm guiding you to? I think that's an interesting topic, and I think that it informs a lot of perspective. Start with Camus. Talk to us.
Hey, bro, your mic was going a little bit loose.
Oh, you couldn't hear me?
The question you said.
I can hear you, Q.
Okay.
It sounds like it's loud over there.
Nigga, is that an elephant? What the hell?
You right. I got it. No, all right, but listen. Kamu, who is your favorite content creator?
Oh God.
Yeah, just give us some of your favorite content creators on YouTube that you listen to. What does your algorithm hit you with when you're consuming content? Who is it typically?
Honestly, bro, like it's black conscious stuff. Like people posting about things that happened in the past. It's not necessarily a character or an individual. It's people who are posting about our history and stuff like that, and not there's no specific individual. I would say I follow this person religiously. There's nothing like that. It's just people post about our history and where we're going and development of African people across the world. It's basically my algorithm.
Gotcha. Nah, I get it, because typically my algorithm's crazy because of every Tuesday and Wednesday I got to look at a bunch of videos to get questions for these topics. So my shit changed so much each week that it just be kind of topic based more than actual person. TBI, talk to us.
Yeah. So are you saying like in general, or are you talking about like?
No, in general. Nah, ain't got to deal with like
I listen to a lot of stuff, man. Because I mean, I'm in business and things like that. I listen to Alex Mosey, Dan Cole. But also like when I look for like politics and consciousness like content, of course, it's gonna be Professor Black Truth, the Black Channel.
My bad. Who's your favorite business podcast or content creators? Who'd you say?
Alex Mosey and Dan Cole.
Okay.
Yep.
No,
I
you keep
listen
going.
to a lot of real estate stuff. But yeah. But I mean, as far as like black consciousness, politics, of course, like I say, Professor Black Truth, of course, Tariq, the Black Channel, Black Alpha, a lot of Black American content creators. So
heard you.
Yep.
All right, Kofi, talk to us. Same question. Kofi, you there? All right, I think Kofi's gone. Fellas, it sounds like
right here.
Okay. All right. No, we couldn't hear you.
Oh, my bad. Nah, yeah, I don't do fake black media stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No ad hominem. Let's stay focused on the question. We got you, brother.
All I said was fake black media. That's
True
all
enough.
I said.
True enough.
You know what I'm saying? I don't do.
But let's stay focused. Let's stay focused.
True enough, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Like discipline people.
Again, so again, my bad, Kofi. But again, I said true enough. Let's stay focused. You gotta listen to the entire thing.
It's my opinion, like
But I get it. My only thing is that I'm just trying to make sure that we streamline this conversation as best as we can to go away from any version of hostility at this point. I don't think this is a hostile question. I'm just asking, what is your favorite content creators? Let's make it through it. Y'all can argue about Tariq in a second.
It's not even about Tariq, but so there's a guy, FBA guy, the content creator is called Defiant Lawyers, from my political content, TYT, a couple other independent people there.
You said TYT, like the Young Turks?
Yeah, sometimes them, some other with like lesser known that because I haven't been looking at TYT in a while, but there's other people that are less famous, but they're just as good. Camgiverse, he talks a lot about Black history, Afro Think Tank, Bitter Medicine podcast. That's a Pan-African panel. You guys, obviously, there's a guy named Wode Maya, is a guy from Ghana. He travels all over the world. and he just connects with the black people in those populations, and he links up with people like that. And again, I like a lot of science stuff, so so pretty much that's like what my algorithm is like.
All right. So I guess we probably got about like 7 minutes left on the show. Obviously, y'all stick around for afterwards, but I feel like it'd be good enough to just allow everybody kind of like their closing statements on whatever they kind of want to say, end on, plug, XYZ. Start with you, G. We can't really hear you. You got really choppy for a second. A Black, talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, only thing I add that I didn't add is Black YouTube's effect, I guess, internationally. So I don't know, maybe Kamu can speak on that in South Africa if he sees any influence. But I know I do, like, just from people I talk to, and definitely in the girls. A lot of the trends they follow are from like kind of Black American girls a lot of the times, good and bad. So that's a thing too. And like I said, that the algorithm is seemingly choosing the worst versions of us to promote. Like you don't. It's like I say, it's good content out there too, wholesome shit, educational things, spiritual things and stuff. But you seeing fights and twerking and Ruby Rose and CassiusTrey and like it just be
all
like,
the kids do this,
yeah,
and then do that little thing.
And dancing again. But yeah. Other than that, it's about what people consume. Eventually, people gotta like want more, and not just want to be in a constant state of having fun. Like niggas just want to have fun, and it's like, all right, me too, but like all the time, that's not fun. Like,
right. Trey, talk to us. 45 seconds in the clock. Ding.
All right, just super quick. Man, when I found New Black Media, it was the first time I found political commentary from a Black American perspective that I agree with, and I've seen that platform grow. And I think the people that may doubt that have problems with that, I think 5 years from now or even 2 years from now, at first they said FBA don't exist. Now I'm hearing them talking about it on my mainstream media. We're going to see more of that. So get used to it, and you're going to see it. So I'll check back in when you as this grows and we see the productivity that'll take place.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, and also one quick, hey, peace to the old heads, man. I just want to say that, man. I ain't trying to argue with the old folks, no. I mean with the seasoned folks no more. Yeah, just want to throw that in there.
All right, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
days, for sure.
Yes, sir. I like that. Johnny.
Respect. Yeah, no, I think and I think we do a good job of it, but I think like understanding that there's going to be differences in opinion amongst Black people and still knowing how to navigate that, I think that's an important thing. I think there's always going to be, I think the beauty of YouTube and content created is that we can have as many niches as we want, because there's always going to be somebody to watch. There's always somebody to relate. That's the beautiful thing about taking the power back from these networks and the traditional media. It's allowing us ourselves to get the real authentic thought out there. And if we can learn how to do it civil, I think there's a lot of growth and unity that can come from it. I've already learned a lot of things just being on this panel over the last several months. So I think what we do here is a good example of that. And I think if there's more platforms and spaces that could do that, I think it'd be very fruitful for the culture.
Kamu, talk to us.
Yeah, man. Let me throw a shout out to. It just came to my mind now. A podcast by my brother. It's called The Convo with a K. It's hosted by my brother Penwell, the Black Pen. He deals with issues that Black people are going through, and he interviews a lot of Black intellectuals and sometimes common regular Black folks who are going through stuff. And there are quite a number of positive platforms out here, just that they're not giving that much attention. So
Yes, sir. Appreciate. TBI, talk to us.
No, I would say like podcasting. I mean, I think it's a great thing, man. We get real kind of like what Johnny and Trey was saying. We get like the real authentic news from our parents' generation. They did was look at like national news, CNN, ABC, and all that stuff. But we're actually getting real perspectives and things we actually want to hear instead of what's being force fed to us. So I think podcasting is a great thing. And you're gonna have riffraffs out there too, where people put out crazy content. But I think you got to take the good with the bad. But ultimately, it's good for people to have a way to put their perspective out and engage like this. Even this podcast, this is a great thing. So,
Yes, sir. Kofi, talk to us.
Yeah, podcasting and conversations like this with various opinions. I would say, I mean, I haven't been all over YouTube, but I would say I pride that besides Bitter Medicine podcast, you guys are rare, and I wish you guys will have a bigger platform because you guys do, for the most part, have a different opinion, and you guys would push back respectfully. So that's the unique thing I love about you guys. That's why I come on here, because you have that unique perspective when it comes to podcasting and when whoever you're creating. Me, I'm a type of person. Be uncomfortable, be challenged, be intellectually don't have no problem trying to be intellectually challenged. Don't be in echo chambers. Be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm an information junkie, good or bad. I just want to have that in my arsenal, and I find that entertaining. I find learning new things to be my form of entertainment, and just not to be stuck in echo chambers and just hearing things that you agree with. Sometimes hearing other different opinions broadens your horizon. So shout out to y'all, and shout out to Real Black Media. Peace.
You're laying the plane for us. Talk to us. You there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
can you hear me? Yeah. What I'm saying is that we have plenty of black platforms out here for us and content that's going on. And you have like your Kais, the young men like this that's doing this, that, whatever. The only thing I can say that's positive about it is that, what I'm saying, they are out here and they are being able to take care of themselves, and what I'm saying, they make money. So it might not be the best thing, but at least they are doing something that, what I'm saying, they're taking care of families and things of that nature. And I like to send shout outs to those. But like I said, this is my platform right here, because I listen to others and I see whatever. But I would like to give a shout out to Vlad for keeping Black Americans down. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that you can say. That's a podcast that Black Americans always owe. It is a black podcast, but he do all he can to send as many black men as he can to jail. Thank you, Vlad. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, it's platforms out there, but you guys are my favorite, and I listen to plenty of them. Like I do listen to Kai and all of them, but it's just for entertainment because what I'm saying, they don't know no better. They doing what they can do, and they don't even see themselves being buffoons or whatever. They just seeing themselves as making money, and that's all it is. At least you guys, like I said, y'all argue or whatever, but when it comes down to it, y'all gonna land the plane. And y'all gonna land a plane on the same platform, even though y'all not thinking that, what I'm saying, but y'all at the same airport with different planes. That's how I see it. But thank y'all for what y'all do.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. And again, I think that is kind of the basis of the show, just being able to civilly disagree with a bunch of people that look like you. Nonetheless, this has been Unpacked, where the initial question was black YouTubers and content creators. Are they the problem? But obviously we've went all around the world. No Pan-Africanism. My bad, Trey. But we've hit a bunch of different topics. We have kind of dived deep into it, and we've jumped to a bunch of different areas, but we appreciate y'all as viewers. And like that, it is Q, it is GH Podcast, A Black TV, Trey, Johnny, Kamu on the call in, TBI on the call in, Kofi on the call in, and Unc on the call in. We out. Peace.
It doesn't matter how you feel. real.